It's live, J-Bone. It's free family dinner.
It's free 99.
Forbes when you need it.
Oh, dear God.
Bring her back. Bring her back.
Oh, I don't know if we're ever going to get her on here. But what's up, everyone?
Holiday weekend, J-Bone.
It is. It is Labor Day weekend. It's a big wrestling weekend. It's
what's going on this weekend?
Yeah, there's a little little thing in Chi-Town.
Oh yeah, Trent. AAW, right?
Yes.
GCW. They've been in there. I don't know any other promotions running out there, but that's about it.
GCW ran like all these shows in a row. I don't know why. Folks, if you're a fan of AAW or AEW, excuse me, for All Out Weekend, I just did my predictions over on Smash This Podcast. You can go check that out. But yeah, we do a free one of these every once in a while. I don't know if we're going to get any other folks from the crew in here. Hopefully we will. I know Truck was planning on being here. The original plan was he was going to look up a bunch of stuff and see if he could find some highlights of Daphne's TNA career, and he was going to make a list and we were just going to discuss them. But well, he's not here, so I mean it's still in the works. I'm sure we'll do that sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe for throwback, we'll set that up for Tuesday. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. Do that.
There we go. We got some across the pond. It's not. It's late again there. It's not dinner time.
Yeah.
But Steve, if you want to come on, let me know. I'll shoot you over the Linkaroony if you want to join us for some family dinner.
Oh yeah. Spine Chillin' Cinema is here. That is the Caretaker. What is up?
Oh, the Caretaker. Okay, all right.
Yeah, the Caretaker. And I said he popped in. He popped in the STP chat when I was doing predictions. So and I tell everyone when he pops by, I say, hey, if you're a fan of classic, and I mean classic vintage horror films or scary movies, go check out this guy's YouTube channel.
Okay. Now we going classic vintage like Universal monsters from like the 30s? Or are we talking like 60s, 70s vintage?
A little bit of both. Yeah, I mean he does some black and white stuff. He does some grade B horror stuff. But yeah, he does a nice little stuff.
And he brings up a good memory here, a good Daphne memory.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Daphne. I remember calling into WCW hotline back in the day. Got to talk to her and told her about the fan site I made for her. She was so excited back then. And that's what she was one of the shining things coming out of late WCW, and there wasn't a lot. I know I'm more critical of late WCW than some of the other guys here, but there's a reason it went out of business. Most of it wasn't good.
I mean, I loved WCW during the Attitude Era, but that last year was pretty rough. I dropped out. I dropped out around the last year. 6 months to a year. I don't remember exactly, but yeah. And that's when I started watching the WWE. I was like, there's nothing else to watch. I guess cause I didn't, I wasn't the guy that changed the channel. Mm-hmm. I didn't, so many friends of mine did, but I didn't. I was like, no, I don't know who any of those guys are. I'm not going to flip the channel, So yeah, send Steve the invite. Yeah, if he's still awake.
Okay, all right. I will shoot it over. Give me one sec there,
I don't
Steve.
know if he's still up or if he's just up early or what is he doing? That's simply Steve is just simply
he's always around, man. He doesn't sleep, that guy.
You're right.
Well, either does our Bison. He was up late last night. Oh, Thursday night. It's awful.
Yes. If you missed the Thursday show, please go check it out because we had a lovely surprise. I mean, I didn't know when I jumped in here, I didn't know Bison was going to be with us, but Bison brought a hell of a guest with him. And we had Jake Christ on the show for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. I mean, it was a long time. I don't know how long it was.
I'm just shooting this over. All right, I put a tweet out there, and I'm also sending Steve the link.
Thank you, because I'm so bad at social media lately. I really am. So it looks like we're going to get someone from across the pond.
As normally seen Wednesdays, but normally this is the Patreon show for anyone just stumbling across this. That's why it's just on the YouTube right now.
Oh, I didn't put it on the
You didn't put it on the Twitcher Rooney.
I didn't. That's because when I first did it, I did it as unlisted.
Yeah, you did it as the Patreon.
And then I remembered that we were going to do this one as a freebie. So, oh, all right. Truck's going to come in here. So cool. The more, the merrier.
Poor J-Bone. All he does is do different podcasts all day.
Right? No, I'm exhausted. I mean, it's getting a little cooler around here. It's still gorgeous out. It's like 70s, it's September is always when it starts cooling down around here a little bit, gets a little more damp. Okay.
Steve, I sent it to your Twitter. So. All right.
Great time to do some outside yard work. It's not so hot out. So,
okay.
Yeah, and I was hoping Trent would be in here because he could talk about his AAW show. Bill, did you watch it at all?
Obviously we had our own show Thursday night, the TNI co-stream and review.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I went to WrestlePro in Union, New Jersey, featuring quite a number of Impact talent. Eddie Edwards, sporting the Eddie shirt.
Nice.
Falaba, and one Matt Cardona, who was more of the GCW version of Matt Cardona. So very heelish. Going against Danny Moff. Danny Moff rips off his shirt, has a Nick Gage shirt underneath it. So it was Dave getting into it with Matt Cardona at the show. Matt Cardona on the mic calling out Dave for getting on him. So it was a wild night in Union, New Jersey.
Oh, this is interesting here. Noah Lux says, I met Mark Henry today at the Fan Fest. That was at Chicago. Said he was really rude, acted like he didn't even want to be there. Well, that's strange because he's usually not.
Well, I don't know. Most of those guys from up north, I couldn't tell you.
Wow.
I don't know how they had it set up there. Like if it was a cluster, I could see him being used to very regimented, like fan interactions up north. And if it wasn't one, I could see him maybe being upset by it. But yeah, you never want to have a bad experience because that really does hurt. The taste is bad for wrestling for a lot of people. That's why I would always suggest, and I know it's not easy because let's not kid ourselves, J-Bone. Wrestling fans can be problems at times. But
Yeah.
if you're cordial, then that's all you should expect. Like, it doesn't help you. It only helps you to sell merch and get more fans by being at least decent.
Right.
Shouldn't be too tough.
Right.
No matter what you do in life.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Noah, that you had that experience. I mean, he certainly isn't one of my favorite guys, but I never like looked down on him for anything in particular, other than like when he's on Sirius XM on Busted Open Radio, and they're talking about Impact Wrestling, and he's, he says something like, "Well, I just don't watch it." It's like, well, then shut the hell up, dude.
It is funny him, because we can call him out on this, because I've listened to enough Busted Open. When he was working up north, that's all he was focused on. That's all I cared about.
Right.
So he really talked down on everything else. Now that he's part of AEW, he talks bad about up north and everywhere else. Like whoever's paying his paycheck, that's who he's. And you can't argue with it that much. And we're going up north, way up north.
Truck.
Barely north, by the way, like only a couple of hours across from the border. That's the thing. We market ourselves as the Great White North, but most Canadians live within 3 hours of the border.
You're right. There's places like in Michigan and stuff that are more north than a lot of Canada.
Yes.
Yeah. This is true. He's you're still a whole country away.
This is true. This is true.
It's a border.
It's a border. Now, Truck, I don't know up there, because I know there are some wrestling promotions near you, but it was just coming up in the chat here, like someone had a bad experience. In this instance, they had a bad experience with Mark Henry at a fan meet and greet. Have you ever had any bad experiences with any wrestlers at shows?
I've met one wrestler who's worth mentioning. That was Lance Storm, and he was a perfect gentleman. So, sorry.
Oh, nice.
Nothing less of Lance Storm.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, and we're getting someone from across the pond right here joining us, Simply Steve.
Oh, look at Simply Steve.
What is up?
How we doing?
Good.
You're
Yourself?
good, man. How are you?
Yes, okay, thank you.
Cool.
This guy. Rocking a stash.
So, what time is it there?
It is 4:30.
Oh my
Ooh, it is
goodness.
late.
So
I don't
you're
know.
either up really early or you're up really late.
Well, put it this way, I'm kind of in the middle, because like I tend to work late and early. I work a job where the earliest I finish is like 11 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And today I got home at 1:30.
Oh my goodness.
I have to be up at 7:30 this morning. So it's like, what? And when it's one of those, you're like,
Do you even bother?
Is it worth even going to sleep?
Jeez.
And then I sort of just popped online. I was like, you guys are doing something. Maybe I'll watch it.
There you go.
So you're normally in like wind down mode right now.
Yeah.
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 It's a holiday.
And
Well,
like I say, if I didn't have anything planned after like what I'm doing in the morning was finished, that'll be it over.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, it's going to be one of those days where it's a long day.
Oh, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Now, Steve, because we get into these discussions the other day after Bison left, we were talking tea and crumpets, and like, what's a crumpet? Over here, we were talking English muffins. Do you guys have English muffins? Are they muffins? We're going over all
Do you even
this.
call them English muffins, or do you just call them muffins?
No, well, as far as I'm aware, we just call them muffins.
Because we were talking Canadian bacon. Canadian bacon, still Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
We do have a question for Steve. Does Simply Steve wake up to Big Ben?
No,
Can you hear Big Ben from your house?
No, I'm far enough away from it that I don't hear it. Although I will say that I have an auntie, and whenever I go to visit her, I can hear it because she's close enough to it.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, there is a little bit more. And Steve, we'll ask this same thing. I don't know any wrestling over there, any interactions with professional wrestlers, because Noah here has been telling us about he went to the AEW like Fan Fest today and had a bad interaction with Mark Henry. More details here. He asked him how his day was, and he said, "Your time is up for talking." I even noticed he was sweating and offered to give him a water. Some high quality H2O, and Mark Henry was having none of it.
He said your time is up for
Your
talking?
time is up. What do you think he is, John Cena?
Oh,
His time is up.
Wow, he's
I think the
heel mode.
AEW, you got to watch out, man. Too big, too soon. I think a lot of people are getting heads are getting big up there or down there.
Maybe Noah's one of those guys that smells like Cheetos and BO. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Noah. I'm kidding. Yeah,
it's one of those things where I don't know if the phrase over here, tea and crumpets, is used that often now anymore.
Oh, you saying that's like an Americanized
I don't know. I think it's one of those things that it started out like that, whereas now people just have crumpets for lunch.
What is a crumpet? Educate me.
It's
because I couldn't. We talked about this last time, and I was like, I'm not sure. I think it's a scone. But...
It's not a scone. It's kind of like how can I put it? It's sort of like a sort of I'm trying to like a flat a dough sort of. I'm trying to explain it, but I'm not.
So more like a biscuit?
No, it's
It's not a biscuit or a scone.
Or a cookie?
Is it a cookie?
No, it's closer to a scone, but you can put it in like the oven or the grill and kind of heat it up. You need to cook it.
You need to cook it. Okay, so it's hot. It's served hot.
Yeah, it's served hot. They're packeted, and they're basically like sort of that big, sort of flat, and then they've got sort of holes in, so obviously the heat can get out of them, and then you butter them.
Huh. This sounds really good.
Or put jam or whatever you want on them. And
then like the little holes are like little jam traps.
I guess
so. When you eat this, there's like pockets of jam throughout it. That sounds really good.
Yeah. Buckshot loves his crumpets with butter here.
Oh, there you go.
I think I would enjoy the crumpet lifestyle.
Yeah, but I say they are things you need to cook.
It's not just a snack. It's a lifestyle.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, do you have tea? Do you have tea time, Steve? Is that like legit? Do people still go like, okay, it's afternoon tea? Gotta have some tea.
Yeah, like I say, breakfast, lunch, and evening tea.
Oh,
obviously everyone calls it different. You know, you got tea or you got dinner, you got lunch or you got, everyone calls it something different. That's why sometimes I go around someone, they say, "Are you having tea?" You're like, or "Are you having dinner?" We're like, "Well, I've had it. That was lunch."
that could be a show. TNI UK tea time. I like it.
I'd be so confused.
Now, just to get the other side of the wrestlers, maybe having bad interactions. Charles here says he met Darby and Sammy Guevara recently at a con, and they were both super cool. I think for the most part, a lot of them are going to be very cool. I think it's going to be
younger guys, aren't they? Like they're not.
You're right.
They haven't been around enough to turn
one that's
into
been in the business a long time and wasn't cool, and the younger guys being cooler. So.
Yeah.
Now, Titus O'Neil. Now, I'd be shocked about him because he's one of their big PR social media.
Yeah, they put out there as like a man of the year type guy.
Right. Yeah, he's like whenever they send someone from the WWE someplace like for a campaign of sorts, that's their guy. Like he's become one of their social guys. Oh, now which one is that truck?
This is Rusty. And
That's Rusty.
This tail
Right now,
swish-
Rusty looks like a Felix the Cat clock because his tail's wagging back.
The tail swish is very dissatisfied.
It's
He wants to
funny
go outside, but I won't let him go out.
There's a Rocky just off camera here.
There's an Oreo peering behind you.
And there's an Oreo. Oops, other way. This right here. She had
Jay
all
left his chair. Oreo would be on commentary right now.
In fact, Bill, because I went and when Bill first popped in here and we were just about to go live, I was like, all right, well, we're gonna quick go take care of something and I'll be right back. And he was gonna go live with just Oreo sitting on the back of my chair. I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't have been mad. That'd have been hilarious.
Jay, he fired Trent. I'm gonna be like, I got rid of Jay. Oreo is the replacement. We're going places here. We got a cat.
If Oreo is the new replacement, I want to be on every show.
It's getting wonky around here, right?
All right, let's go. Let's see. Now, anybody that does, because just normally how the Sunday dinner works, sometimes we bring topics here to talk about, but also ask questions. Put in there. I know there's been some comments we were talking about, but definitely get the questions in there now. I do see a couple in here, so I will throw one of them up here.
Hello, Violet. I see your message.
Hello,
Thank
Violet.
you for coming out.
Oh, looks like someone else is going to be joining us.
He's going to be unfired for one night only.
No, he
got fired from Family Dinner too. I thought it was just.
No, he comes for the Patreon stuff.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got Randy Sam here asking a question.
Oh, what's Randy got?
Favorite movie you thought was underrated? Doesn't have to be wrestling related.
I don't know if really, because I mean it's still my favorite movie, but I think it's a little underrated. Lost Boys.
Oh, look at you going 80s classic.
Mm-hmm. I do have an answer for this that I feel very strongly about. Tron Legacy, which is 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
it made money.
That got kind of crapped on.
When I watched it for the first time just by myself at home, I was just blown away at like the themes, the subtlety built into this movie. And I was all excited to go off and find reviews and find people talking about it because I thought there's a lot to discuss here in this movie. And all the reviews that I read, I don't think people really watched the movie other than just, for the shiny colors and what. But it has a lot of really interesting things to say on the nature of divinity. Yeah.
Okay.
So I really like the movie. And I'm a big
that's old man Jeff Bridges is in that one, right?
He's technically in it twice. He plays himself as a young guy, as an old guy.
Oh, really? Because I've only seen the first one, but I haven't seen it in, oh my God, decades.
Just visually alone, Legacy is absolutely stunning. I'm disappointed it didn't do better than it did because, well, actually, it still made like over $100 million profit.
Oh, yeah.
Which is ridiculous to say, it didn't do that well. But, these days, if you don't make $1 billion, you don't get renewed.
Yeah, and it wasn't critically well received as much.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is I never, look at the big reviews. I always, if I look at a trailer and I go, oh, that looks badass, I'll check it out. Now, most of the time, if I am in the mood to watch something and I watch it, I'm usually pretty happy with it. There was one movie recently where I was all excited to check it out, and it just stunk. It was so bad.
Was it the new Mortal Kombat? That broke my heart.
I thought it wasn't that bad, the new Mortal Kombat, for what it was.
And I'm not a big video game guy, and I thought that was really fun to watch. It's like, and I don't know the characters well, but I've heard of plenty of them to. That's super frozen zone ice dude, whatever the fuck, I don't know.
Jay, you're killing me here.
I know.
Sub-Zero. Come on, man.
You're killing me here.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Never mind.
Go back to Pong.
There was a recent Bruce. Trent.
Drinking on stream, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm drinking Pellegrino.
Pellegrino.
The bottle says Pellegrino. The smell says gin.
It's actually vodka. No. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? I totally slipped my mind. I don't get the messenger notifications on my phone, so I was just sitting here chilling, and I was like, "Oh shit!" It's something.
So how was I mean, we'll switch subjects because I really want to know how your show was the other night. I have not watched it yet, so if you spoil something, I'm not going to be mad or whatever. But talk about your show the other night because you had some amazing people on that show.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you haven't seen Josh Alexander and Freddie Ahai yet, it's buzzing. I mean, I don't. If anything, unless anything insane happens tomorrow, it's the match of the weekend already. So they went an hour. It was completely a clinic, and Freddie Ahai looked like the term didn't break a sweat. I swear to God, like that guy must have invented it because he after the match, he was all like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going, everybody?" He's like, you wouldn't think he just wrestled an hour with Josh Alexander. Like that guy was in. It's unreal, man. That match is mind-blowing.
Now, Trent, how did the crowd react? Because it's interesting. Because it was a Broadway with a no finish.
Yeah.
So I was at IWTV's 100 show, and that also had a Broadway where it was Garcia versus I forget who even the champ is at IWTV right now, but it was a Broadway there too, and the fans kind of weren't happy. They were like, an hour and no finish. How did the crowd react there? Did they like? And there was plenty that loved it, but there was a loud group that was like, "Come on!" Yeah. And I think it was because there was no air conditioning in the venue and all. So like we all sat through an hour of sweat for nothing.
That would piss the crowd off. No, this one was fine. This one reacted fine because it was these two, and it was like that clinic style back and forth. It wasn't as hot. I mean, it was hot, but it wasn't. People weren't miserable. But yeah, I know there is that pocket though that's like, oh, I wanted to finish, but then there's the pocket who has that come around like who understands like, oh my god, that was an incredible display of wrestling. So I would say about maybe 15-20% of people were kind of like in that.
Yeah, that sounds fair. That sounds to be what it is. Just over the years, those type of matches. I remember all the way back to a Ring of Honor. Elgin AJ went the distance for a TV taping, and it's like, huh? What?
We also
where's the rematch?
We also gave them Garcia and Davey Richards for I don't know, like 20 minutes. So I think they shouldn't complain too much. And that had a winner, so I don't think they should complain too much.
Now, Daniel Garcia, talk about him for a while because I know he's an up and coming kid that's getting a lot of TV time lately.
Dude, he's like. It's crazy because he virtually came out of nowhere. He was wrestling for Limitless in Maine, where my buddy Nate's a referee, and he, I don't know, he was up there doing his thing. I mean, he's from the Buffalo area, I believe.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of New York shows. I think he was, I think he did Hog and a couple other promotions around there.
He's young, man. He's like 23. But this kid's got something. But yeah, he exploded. He's not officially signed to AEW yet either, so.
That's the thing.
Yeah, everyone on Dark. Nobody signed there.
But I was like, man, if that kid comes out of this weekend without a contract, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I mean, he just did a match on Friday night live with Darby Allin. So this kid's had a full week.
It's nuts, man. He virtually came out of nowhere. Davey Richards put him over huge, and. They went to this. I mean, not this day, but they went to a finish. It was wild. Like he's really good. He stays healthy. He could be huge.
How did Davey Richards look?
Like he stepped out of 2011. that guy.
No shit.
We need Davey versus Saban then on repeat right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You mean soon to be X Division champion 9 times?
9 times.
9 times.
9 times.
I was really hoping Sonny Siaki would have answered that former X Division champion challenge.
Buddy.
Nice.
But No, listen, it was a great show though overall. Full house, packed crowd, good crowd.
You guys went almost 4 hours.
Well, the one match was a damn hour.
Right.
I
Right.
haven't seen it yet, and when I heard
It's
that,
not
I was
for it.
like, it wasn't advertised as an Iron Man.
No.
So
But
how did you book around that?
60-minute time limit for all title matches, and that's the standard. So these bastards took it to 60.
Jeez. Well, now it's interesting because the last match that Josh Alexander had there was a 20-minute time limit draw with Jake something.
Yeah. They went the distance. I mean, he's an Iron Man, man. Yeah, that's what the guy's turning into. Now, listen, I'll put it this way: when you watch it, there's a bit of an Easter egg in the match for something that's pretty interesting. I just see if you find the Easter egg I'm talking about. If you do.
Okay.
And then tell me if you spotted it at the end of the match.
All right.
But that's something cool. But other than that, it was the new tag champs, Kurt and Jake, or Stallion Rogers and Jake something. But then the Heritage Championship was the craziest thing. It was Ace Austin beat Myron Reed.
Oh,
And
nice.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jed.
No, I said it. Just I wanted you to, because I know you had a big show, and I didn't want you to not be able to talk about it on here. So no, that's okay. I'm still gonna watch it. No, that's fine.
And that son of a bitch, Hakeem Zayn, Rohit Raju, comes out, antagonizes old Ace into convincing him to put up that title right then and there, because Hakeem had won a contenders match earlier in the night, and in 5 seconds beat Ace Austin after Karam interfered. Karam returns. Interferes.
Oh, Karam's back. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, see, and I've heard so much about him, but then by the time he started getting some momentum, then he got injured. So I still haven't seen him yet. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts. He interfered, and then Miss Gia Miller came in and got involved. Yeah, I won't tell you after that. Then you can just see after that.
Okay.
But there's a promo. The promo they cut for the final release, but also there's something online where I chased after him after all this dastardly bullshit. I chased after him to get a word with what the hell that just went on in the ring, so you could see on the AEW Twitter what they had to say.
I imagine Trent was like, do you remember Bob in Impact Wrestling?
Bob. Oh yeah, Bob. Nobody.
Can I get a word? Can I get a word?
I was chasing him, going, "Wait a minute, what the hell just happened?" At one point, Carl was like, "Fuck you."
Nice.
It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was a great show, man. Definitely a lot of fun. A lot of people there. Yeah, it's a good couple rookies who were in town for the other stuff going on, so they made a few appearances for the Alive stuff. But yeah, it worked out really well, man. Worked out really well. It was just a really solid show.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to see. So what's the deal with the Josh Alexander doing all these time limit draws? Did Scott D'Amore call you guys up and he's like, hey, he's our X Division champion, so I'm going to let you guys know right now that he is not allowed to win or lose. Now book that. See, did he pull
Scott
it?
Tony?
Yeah.
Is Scott Tony, Jay?
No way.
What's the answer to that question?
Yeah, come on.
Oh, you just did it. Ace Austin lost. So that
Yeah.
But against
In 5 seconds.
Rohit Raju.
What a chump.
What a trump.
Oh, damn.
Hey, is this family dinner public today? I saw
This
it
is
on
public.
the public.
Yeah.
It is.
They were
It
giving
is.
a freebie away today?
Yes.
it's a holiday weekend.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
get
It's
extra
a
spicy so people decide to sign up for the Patreon.
we had
Yeah.
a
Incredibly
sign up today.
controversial.
We had a sign up today by Brian Field, who I ran into
Saw that picture.
at the AEW show.
That's amazing.
Yeah, J-Bone put it on during the review show on Thursday.
Video.
Yeah.
He shows up. He's like, Trent. I'm like, hey, how's it going? He goes, I'm Brian Field. I'm the one who said you guys were good. He was the guy who commented on Tuesday about, I'm sad to see this show go away. I was like, what the hell are you
Did you
talking
get more
about?
information? What was the final answer to that? That we're getting near the end of the era?
Yeah, that's what he meant. That he thought we were getting near the end of Throwback. He's like, you guys should keep going into Orlando. But then he takes off his his track jacket. He's like, look at their shirt.
The original cast of characters.
Yeah.
He flashed you. No, I'm kidding. No.
But he wanted to meet Bravo. He really wanted to meet Bravo, so I was able to bring Bravo. I went up to the locker room, like, hey, it's a big Impact fan who wants to meet you. And Bravo had already changed into like his, you know, out of his. It was his birthday, by the way, that day. Changed into his regular clothes, and I said, you're gonna have to put your gimmick back on to go meet this. I mean, kayfabe, Daddy. You know, you have to be in character. This guy's waiting to see you in character. He's like, I'm not fucking putting my suit back on. And I'm like,
well, that's in character for Bravo.
I told Bravo, I go, Harley Race would have your ass right now for coming out in street clothes and not in your gimmick to go meet a fan right now. He's like, Harley Race is dead. And I was like, well, today, Bravo, you work for us. I'll put on the fucking suit. He's like, go fuck yourself, Trent.
So he put the suit back on, right?
Huh? He did not put it back on.
So he puts it back on.
Kayfabe is dead. Wrestling is dead. He's the one who's killing the business. Forget the Bucks.
He had a hell of a birthday. Truck, did you watch the show? You watched it, right?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry.
When you guys watch it, you'll see Bravo had an interesting night for that one.
Oh, I did watch up to that.
Oh, you did.
I saw what happened to him. Yes.
Poor son of a bitch.
Oh my God! And on his birthday too.
On his birthday.
Well, at least he still had a better time than, sadly, you, Mister, who went from Georgia to the Impact tapings thinking they were today.
What?
Got the dates mixed up.
When are they? 2 weeks.
They 17th, 18th, 19th. I got to the studio. I was like, "Where is everyone?" Not
That's
even Kevin
hilarious.
Martin to say hello.
That sucks. That really sucks.
That is funny.
Always double check on those for sure.
Hey, Brian Field with the $4.99 tip. Thanks, brother.
Oh, Brian's there. There's Brian.
There he is. We were just talking about you, Brian.
I tried getting that son of a bitch to put his suit back on, but he wouldn't do it. But he got a nice.
He just doesn't want to protect the business.
He doesn't. Brian's great though. Real nice to meet. I love when I get to meet the folks in person. It's always a great thing. So
yeah, right.
Good stuff. No, thank you
Very
again,
nice.
Brian.
That's cool.
Yes, it is.
And there's going to
family
be
dinner.
new merch coming, Brian. So you'll have the opportunity to wear something completely new the next time you see Trent.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. But yeah, other than that, man, it was fun stuff. Good stuff. That was a great show to be a part of, and I'm glad. A lot of history making moments in that one.
Now I know that's obviously a very positive high, but Trent, since you were not with us on Thursday, due to J-Bone over there, but there was obviously some obviously very sad news, and Akeem's asking here for your end because you're obviously a day one guy fan of the company.
Yeah,
Trent, not sure if y'all talked about it, but what are your thoughts on Daphne's passing? So you're seeing you're an old school TNA fan.
Dude, I love Daphne. I think I told my Daphne
Recently.
Yeah, the autograph story with Daphne. She was a sweetheart, man. We were all talking about it in our private chat that we have, but man, it just mind blowing. Like you thought for a second there was like the hope that she was going to be okay, because I think April Hunter was kind of tweeting stuff, and she's like, okay, her parents are there, everybody's, we're in communication. I'm like, oh, thank God, like somebody got through. And then the next morning I saw like Saraya Knight had posted a photo. I was like, oh fuck, this can't be good. And then I read the caption. But dude, it's a total bummer, man. I mean, the everybody was pretty bummed out at the AEW show. People who knew her like from the old days and stuff. Like some people who a lot of the younger kids weren't really too familiar with her. Honestly, like there's a lot of young kids didn't really know, but like some of the older fans, and then like people who did work with her, like Danny passed her in passing in IWA and stuff like that. So it's funny enough. I asked Danny, I said, did you ever work with her directly? He's like, I actually heard her by accident on a power bomb that I did one time, but she was totally cool. He's like, she just took it wrong and she just got hurt on a power bomb deal. But he knew her, and everybody had good things to say, man. She was just a really nice person. It's just a very sad story. It's been a while since we had something like that happen in wrestling. It was frequent at one time, sadly, and
yes,
it's a bit. And so I think it's hit everybody really odd. It's like, holy shit, like this is still out there, you know, it's still a thing that happens that we need to be aware of. So, yeah, bummer, man. Is there any kind of anything set up for her? Have they set up any kind of
Not that
memorial?
I've seen yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would expect and hope really that something would be, because I would definitely kick in. I don't know how much she has for family. I know her parents are still around. Obviously, they were, close enough that they were able to get there and try and do something. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Very sad. Very, very big time. And it's, the saddest thing about it is, and I guess I can't speak on, how people go through, what individuals go through in that moment, but she kept saying she was alone. She's like, I'm so alone. And you literally hear the phone buzzing as she's saying all this, right? But not only that, there's 1,000 of her coworkers and friends online at that moment.
yeah,
Like I'm here, like we're here, like shit. Just let us know, like we're there, But that's the saddest thing to me is someone feeling alone, and when they're not in reality, but feeling that. So I definitely think that's in her case. It's just, I think she was more loved than she realized. Like her contribution to the business was way bigger than I think she realized it. If you watched early Shimmer too, like she was a big part of Shimmer for years. And you look at WCW, like what an opportunity. She was like 23 when all that was going on. That's crazy. So,
which I know was mentioned earlier before you got here, but Spine Chilling Cinema talked about talking to her on the hotline, and he said he might have to post that old phone interview on YouTube. Yeah, if you have it, throw it up there, man. That'd be a great thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would post it. Why not? Keep the memory alive. Like her, she's a part of something she did. Yeah, absolutely post it. And post it with the intention that you're sharing this so people know who she was. They can share that love and stuff. So
yeah, because you got to remember what was her last time in TNA? 2011. So
she took the bad bump there too. That's what caused a lot of problems for her too. Was
it sounds like that was sadly she took a lot of bad bumps.
That's
concussions and things like that.
That's kind of what I always say was like she was sadly what I always call the unsung hero. She was kind of someone who put a lot of people over and never got the credit for it.
Yeah, and I don't think she was like formally trained either initially.
No, she like answered a contest.
That's right.
She was an actor.
Contest winner. Yeah, she was an actor. And so that's the thing. Like when Danny mentioned, 2002 or 3, he gave her a move and she ended up taking that bad, and I'm like, well, that's weird because like then she took the bump from Abyss bad, and that caused a bunch of neurological issues with her problems, and she took another bump bad. There's a couple others she took bad in WCW. Like I think she put herself in positions where she didn't need to be in, and
some of them bumps were big, weren't they?
Yeah. It's sad, man. The one in TNA was a bad one because she ended up suing the company for that one. I know that.
Yeah.
And it was like, and you can see it's on a pay-per-view. I think she goes through a barbed wire table from Abyss, and when you look at it, it looks safe as it can be. It looks like because Abyss is like one of the most safest workers. People have said despite the hardcore stuff, like he was one of the most gentle guys, and you can see it, like he nearly like lays her down.
Yeah, well, she took. I know the one you're talking about. You're talking about the Monsters Ball match.
Yeah.
Now she took some heavy bumps. I don't think that's the one she sued over. I think it was like a dark match that I think is out there.
Oh
but the one she sued over, I think that was pretty much where they told her like she really couldn't perform after that. I think that's why she sued. But
Ronan Blue.
That was with.
It was Ronan Blue says Rosie sat on her.
That's it. That's who it was.
A lot of love.
A lot of love. That's who it was.
But I always heard the Abyss thing was what kicked it off. Like that bump.
It could have, because that was rough. That was a rough match.
What hurt her, and then the Rosie Lotto, who was a Dudley student, sat on her, and that did her in. That was the end of it. Yeah.
Jeez.
And that Rosie was trash though. I didn't like.
Well, that was somebody that was not really safe in the ring.
She injured a couple people in TNA. Yeah.
Which is now becoming like almost fodder today about up north.
Yeah, similar, with the Nia Jax and all that. Yeah, that sucks, man. That really stinks. But yeah, That really is a sad story. I'm gonna dig out that autograph on it maybe in the next day or two and just post it up with that little story, because I think it was just really great. Because then for anybody who didn't hear it, basically the story was I was at a Shimmer taping. I always loved Daphne. Went up to her at intermission, started talking to her, asked for an autograph. She gave me an autograph. We just kept bullshitting and hit it off so well. They called back intermission, and she's like, "All right, well, I gotta go." I was like, "All right, cool. Hey, listen, I'll talk. Have a good rest of the show. I'll talk to you later." Yeah, just walk back to the seat. I get back to my seat, and I'm like, "Oh shit, she didn't pay me. I didn't pay her for this autograph." Everyone's like, "Oh shit." So after the show, I go up to her at the end of the show, intermission or merch table and thing, and she's like, "I'm like, hey, I never paid you for this." She goes, "Just keep it. That's on me." And I'm like, that was really cool. She didn't have to do that. She's an indie wrestler at that point. So, but yeah, it was very nice of her. And it's her WCW promo photo at that time.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, she was that whole bit she was doing with Crowbar and was it David Flair?
Yeah. They were married. They were happily married.
Crowbar was the jealous friend. He was like Ducky, man. He was like Ducky. It was like a twisted 16 candles. Is what that
That's
was.
Right. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot the storyline that went with that.
I was such a mark that I was like I knew how it was all work, but I got into that storyline so much. I'm like, damn, man. Her and Crowbar make such a better couple though. Like, I remember sitting there going, man, doesn't she know he loves her? Like, I got so into that storyline. So I was like, come on, when are they going to do this big thing with these two? But it never happened.
Never happened.
That's hilarious.
I do love Crowbar. Devin Storm is awesome. Crowbar is the man.
Crowbar is.
He follows us, too. Crowbar does follow the show.
Yeah, he's getting more and more out there, too. Like, he's always cutting promos on, like, whatever's going on in the business.
In his wine cellar, it's great. I love those promos.
He's really good. Yeah.
I feel like that's something Truck would do in about other podcasts.
He's like, you and your inferior podcast.
Like, you record podcasts using iPhone headphones.
Let me pet my cat.
Inferior peasants, you. Just as he throws money at the screen.
Yeah, actually, that is exactly what I would do. I got some $3,000 suits in the other room, so
put them on, man.
Next time, next time we'll bring them out.
Steve, how many crimes have you confessed to? You've been pretty goddamn quiet for the last 10 minutes.
Why do you think I've been quiet?
Steve here.
He's got the shirt on. He just broke out of prison.
Yeah.
Steve
an old time.
Steve had a great interview with Rohit Hakeem Zain Raju the other day. Yeah.
Forget the beefalo. Simply Steve's getting the
scoops.
I think what's happening is here. Simply Steve is planning a takeover of TNI UK, and these little nuggets are basically what the breadcrumb trail he's dropping to let us know that when it happens and he eventually destroys Bison and removes him from the equation, he's going to say, it's going to be like, it was me though. I told you from day one, I plotted this whole thing. And then Bison just, join some other TNA podcast or something. Like some second-rate show. And he's like, I used to be somebody.
Haven't told anyone this yet, but I do have another one coming up.
Oh, this guy. Look at this guy. Who is it?
You heard it here first. Bison, last to know.
Last to know.
You got Bison going back to the Jake Christwell for the 18th time.
Oh, come on. That was exclusive on Thursday.
That was great. That was, very topical, too, that he was able to put that together. That was very nice on Thursday.
It was.
That was pretty good because, and that was one thing we talked about off camera afterwards. Oh, by the way, Zach Bonifer with the $4.99 tip. Thank you so much, man. Happy birthday, Awesome Kong and TNI co-founder. Wait, TNI co-founder Jerry Jarrett. Wait a minute.
Give Jerry part of the. He co-founded TNA with Jeff.
TNA, there's no TNA.
There's no TNI, so you got to give him some partial.
Oh, I suppose. I mean, I always thought it was Kyle and Trent, but okay, never mind.
That was Kyle and Chef.
Technically, it was Kyle and Chef. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I basically Dixie Cartered Chef out of it is what happened, and then basically then what happened here? Then we hired we got Jay, and then J-Bone basically, what do we do? So it would have been, I'm trying to scenario this. J-Bone fired me. That would be similar to when like Dixie fired Jarrett later on. It's what happened. So yeah, that's what happened.
So who's Russo?
Basically, J-Bone took the Dixie title away from me and then fired me, and then took the whole thing over. That's a lot, J-Bone.
J-Bone, who's going to be your Hogan?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's you, Truck. You've turned into like the big gets here.
I don't get anything. I think it's going to be Steve actually with these gets.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So what else are we talking about today? Well,
you don't know who the get is yet. it could be someone you don't like.
Could be someone you don't like.
Oh boy.
Could be Scott.
Yeah.
Could be
Giving it
Scott,
away here.
it could be Scott Hudson.
Yeah. All I'll say, ironically, as you were talking about Jake Christ, he is a former X Division champion.
Yes.
Who-
I hope it's low key because I want to hear what he sounds like when he's just talking to a person and not cutting a promo.
To be honest,
that sounds like.
Girl for SWAT.
I'll take a venti mocha.
to be honest,
cappuccino.
knowing Loki, he would probably
Oat
stay
milk.
in character.
Imagine him at Starbucks. Take a venti mocha cappuccino, oat milk, light ice, hot as can be. Thank
What
you.
would they write on his cup?
Huh?
What would they write on his cup?
Just key.
Just
K-I.
Just low.
What's the name of this order? Key. K-I. Okay.
And then they'd get it wrong and put Senshi.
Go fucking ballistic.
Don't do that. Just like don't go. As we learned earlier, Impact tapings are not this week. They're 17th, 18th, and 19th. So Wendy,
Yes.
make sure that's the dates you show up as well.
What's happening?
Now, do you remember that name, Rosso? There,
Yeah.
Trent. That was from the
Rosso.
infamous
Okay,
Tuesday.
so-
They were back on Thursday.
Oh, really? So on Tuesday, the Ruasso family had a fight publicly in our chat about skipping the one Ruasso brother's wedding to attend the Impact tapings. And then what was the one who was in our chat? Mike? Was it Mike Ruasso?
Mikey.
Mikey Ruasso bought Impact taping tickets while on the show live. Then his sister Wendy jumped in and said, "You piece of shit! I can't believe you're ditching our brother Billy's wedding for some stupid wrestling show." And he's like, "Fuck you, Wendy! I'm going where I gotta go." And then, they start fighting in the chat. And now Wendy's back. What does Wendy have to say today?
Well, and Wendy's going to the September taping, so
Wendy,
maybe everything worked out.
So nobody's going to this wedding anymore.
I guess
Is that what I'm getting for here?
Maybe
Or-
everyone ditched it.
or
Maybe
maybe
the wedding's
the
at the
Yeah,
maybe
the
it's gonna be an
wedding's at the
Impact
tapings.
wedding
Yeah.
because those go well.
So Wendy is now also going to the tapings. Did Wendy forget to sign out of the one account, the Mikey Russell account, and then posted that comment under the Wendy Russell account?
That's
No,
probably
this is
what's
completely
going
legit,
on.
Trent. This is
Yeah.
100%. It's real.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Spine, he did. This was one of the first things that came up in there. I have to look back at the name. Noah said he had a bad interaction with Mark Henry at the AEW Fan Fest.
Are you surprised?
Oh, okay. So that's like a known thing, and I see other people have said it. Like supposedly Mark Henry is not the most nice guy.
Really?
But how about you, Trent? Have you ever had a bad, now not including like production, working for a company type interactions, but as a fan?
Flair was terrible.
Flair was terrible.
What a letdown. I'll never meet Flair again. I don't even care if it's free. Like, it was terrible. I was like,
Really?
yeah, it was just, he's like, he okay, first off, I met him twice. First time I met him was at, he was doing an autograph signing at Tower Records before a Nitro, like on sale date or whatever. Huge line. I was like 17, total mark for Flair. And I was like, how do I stand out amongst this crowd of sweaty hogs, marks, who are just in black t-shirts, whatever. So I dress up, I go full on shirt and tie. I got the wingtip shoes on. I'm like, he's going to notice me, right? I go over there and he's in some fun, sign autograph. I'm like, what the? He's like, hey, champ, how you doing? I was like, there you go. I got two things signed. He's like, there you go. I didn't even look up at anybody. I was like, fuck, what the fuck is this? And I was like, whatever. Anyway, I got my autographs. And then I go to the Days of the Dead Festival 2015, 16. And my buddy bought the meet and greet photo op with Flair. We go up to the photo op thing. It was okay there, but it's the generic. Hey, how you doing, guys? Hey, come on in, champ. Hey, one of those deals. Like Four Horsemen deal. Hey, we did that. But then afterwards, he's at a private table, and I go up to him, and Wendy's with him, his wife, Wendy, Fifi, the maid, right?
Yeah.
And I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, champ, I have a funny story for you. I want to tell you about it. And I was going to tell him about how I went to that. I was a kid and I dressed up. I was like, you were so into your zone that you didn't even notice. But I was like, I remember, borrowing my dad's shoes or whatever. Dude, this guy could not be more uninterested. And like, you're like, oh, wow. Okay, wow. Wendy have shoes. Oh, that's great. Like, I was like, what a fucking asshole. But Wendy, the maid, like Wendy, his wife, Wendy the maid from NWA, was such a sweetheart. She loved the story because I told it all nicely, excitedly. She loved it. And he's like, oh, wow, he wore a shirt and tie. Oh, that's great. Wow, okay, interesting. But then I noticed anytime anybody else came up to his table, if you had a girl with you, he was all charming with if you had a girl. I'm sure he's meeting a bunch of dudes all day, a bunch of nerds, who want to just talk. And I get it, but it's like, don't make me feel like a piece of shit, man. Like, come on.
Maybe he knew deep down you were a little stinger.
Trent.
Yeah.
You knew where your true allegiance was.
Steve told me about you.
That's what you should have done. You should have dressed up in drag.
Yeah, you might as well, right? I was like, what a letdown. I was like, what a letdown. I was like, you can just fake it right here, man. But here's the thing. I have my other ones. Like, people might have their views on Hulk Hogan. The guy couldn't have been even better to meet in person. Everything you imagined he should have been, he was. Bret Hart, amazing. Complete champ. Truck, your Canadian folks. Amazing people. That guy was incredible. Bret let me sit with him, tell him a story about Owen. He didn't care that he was like, I'm gonna let this guy have his moment. It was great.
We got a different opinion on Mark Henry here. What is Zach Bonner for tip for $4.99?
Thanks for
He's a real
another
hands-on
tip,
kind of
Zach.
guy.
You're in the lead, bro. Thanks.
Now we do have another interaction here.
Oh wait, I think that was that might have been a joke. That might have been a joke about the hands. I don't know.
May wait in line just to meet. I'm trying to remember the first time I did meet this little Mark one time. I met him in 2014. Guillermo here.
Don't be great there, Carl. Not everybody's a Mark.
There is
big time,
there's
Guillermo.
actually a photo op of our first meeting here, and I didn't let him stand next to me. I said, "You stand over there," and he stood on the other side of the group. So there is a photo of our first meeting, and I made him. I wouldn't too sweet him. I'll too sweet him now, but not in 2014.
2014 trend, man, was tough.
That's tough. Hey, man, he had to prove himself. But the other day, how about this for a funny deal? This is hilarious. Guillermo got mistaken for me at AAW the other day because he works at AAW. So he was at the production booth, and I was there. So two of us were there. We're on. We're hanging out. And then I went to do something, and I was like away. And one of the camera guys, one of the Wrestle with Unicorns guys, comes up, and he goes up to Guillermo and was like, how'd you get here so fast? So I was gone. So he's like, how'd you get here so fast? The Guillermo's like, I haven't left. He goes, you were just on the other side of the room. He's like, I have been here a little time. He's like, no, you weren't. You were. How did you get here so quick? I just saw you on the other side of the room. He's like, what are you talking about? I never left the spot. He's like, I just talked to you on the other side of the room, whatever. He's like, dude, I've been here the whole time. And he's like, come on, Trent, what the hell are you talking about or something? He's like, yo, I'm not Trent, man. I'm built. I'm careful. He's like, what the fuck? Then I come up. He's like, oh my God, I thought that was you. And I was like, I thought it was you. I was still talking to him like it was you the whole time.
That's funny.
You had to be there. It was funny. But he's still a Mark. Fuck you, Guillermo.
So, on the positive side, because I can echo this, and it also goes into a question with the Hall of Fame, because I don't know if Trent saw this. Spine Chilling Cinema says he met Awesome Kong, and she was the friendliest, most down-to-earth wrestler I ever met in person.
She was awesome. She
was like, I took a selfie with one of the few selfies I have at like a Bound for Glories with Awesome Kong. Very cool. And this is when obviously she was like the monster in the division, but all like when not with fans, great interaction. But I know Gail put out right after her retirement at the NWA show that next stop Hall of Fame for Awesome Kong. What do you think, Trent? And maybe this is the start of the multiple person Hall of Fame.
It needs to be, by the way. That 5 entries a year. That's what you got to do, and that's how it's got to be from now on. You're gonna go into 2098 before you even get to fucking Kid Cash at this point. I mean, come on, let's speed this up a little bit. But no, she was amazing. I met her at Shimmer too, that same Shimmer show. I remember going up to her, and I wasn't a huge women's wrestling fan at the time, and I went to the show with a friend. And I remember going up to her. I'm like, hey, I'm not a huge women's wrestling fan, but you really made me like this a lot. And I remember her response going, oh my God, thank you. And I was like, what the fuck? I did not expect that from Awesome Kong. I expected her to just growl at me and say, like, thanks.
You were expecting.
Yeah.
She
was just like, oh my God, oh, you're such a sweetheart. I was like, what the fuck? Like, she's nice. The kayfabe was I had the kayfabe blinders on, man. I didn't expect her to be so nice.
Wow.
She was.
And speaking of the Hall of Fame, because I know it was mentioned by a couple people early, and we got to say this because this is great news. Like after the horrible news the other day, Donna West in remission right now.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So that's great to hear. And that's another guy. Him and TNI, Hall of Fame.
It's got
Vegas.
I told Penzer. I was talking to Penzer the other day. I said, you guys are going to Vegas. I said, what are the odds you go to Mike Tenay's house and drag him to the Bountiful Glory taping? And he's like, it might take Callis to go with me to do this. And I was like, show him with a bottle of bourbon and just get him all liquored up, right? And then bring him. He goes, he's a Scotch man. I go, tell Bill to send a bottle of Scotch to his house.
I like how I'm the one always providing the alcohol for everybody.
Well, you're there. I know you're going to be there. That's why I'm like, have Bill get the bottle of Scotch and get it going over to Tenay's house. And then
if that can convince Mike Tenay, I will gladly get Mike Tenay.
100%, man. I hope. I mean, it to me, what a tragedy would be if they're in Vegas for like Bound for Glory, which is a Hall of Fame thing and all that, and you don't even get Tenay like as an honorary appearance. Like he lives in the fucking town.
Well, they've been there a bunch of times. It was just TV. But they never got him there before. But
for Bound for Glory, it could be it's a big deal.
Yeah, and this is like one of the first times since they went heavy into TNA coming back. Like when they did, because remember that was in Atlanta. That was right before the pandemic. So they had like big TNA plans. The Moose storyline. Now with Christian Cage putting the TNA to the side, I'm worried how deep they're going into that anymore because it might be put TNA to the side again. But the cards, the new cards that came out, Mike Tenay's one of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just like Christian Cage was one of them last time. That's not.
Yeah.
They don't do that for any other reason. Like there's a reason Mike Tenay's in that set.
Anybody here get the cards? Anybody get them?
I did not.
No. Steve, did you use your?
I don't think they're available over here.
Oh, really?
Oh, they might not have been. There are some things that aren't available to the UK.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of things that they release that aren't available in the UK.
That's a shame.
Yeah, then there's another one. Like it could be like Christian Cage could go into the Hall of Fame. He's now a 3-time champion.
3 times, yeah. Interesting.
Well, I mean, they got to do something.
And 1 Full Impact.
They got to do something nice for him after Ace Austin kicks his ass. You know, it's
come on. Ace Austin, man, what a talent that kid is. He's something special, man. I got caught up on Impact since I didn't get to watch on Thursday, but that kid's something, man. He is bound for glory.
Oh, and then you know what? Here's a hot topic that we have Trent on. Although I don't want to. If this is going to be a rant, I don't know. It might not be.
Oh boy,
because it was a rant by a. Oh, I'm not pointing to anybody, but let's say Tommy Dreamer's involvement in the Ace Austin Christian Cage storyline and main event.
Oh,
let me just say, if you put Tommy Dreamer in this main event, like fuck right off. Honestly, go fuck right off, because you are talking about watering down. Like this is you're giving the kid a spot, and then you're like, well, we don't trust you enough. Here's fucking Tommy Dreamer, who should be nowhere near this shit at all. At most, you make Tommy a referee if you really want to involve him in some way. He's special guest referee. Tommy in this match, I would be so fucking angry if they did that. Like I'm already angry at them for this Christian thing. I really don't. To me, chop the balls off the company at this point. with the talent, what they wrote for everybody else by giving it to Christian. I'm so in disagreement in that already. But you put Tommy in this match to water down Ace, fuck right off, man. That'd be unbelievably ridiculous at this point. It makes no sense. You want to give Tommy a TV match? Fine. Throw him the TV match. Even that's a stretch to me at this point. Make him a guest referee. If you really need to have him involved, make him a guest referee. But don't take this away from Ace Austin. You want to build people? You don't do it by watering down the match that features him out. No way. F that.
All right, so the result was a good result. Tommy not beating Ace, and he is out of that, hopefully. But that he was there makes you think he might not be totally out of the storyline.
I think they might do something with it because the fact that what was the purpose of that twist?
What was the point of it?
None of it.
Of doing
nothing. All of a sudden he's like, I never beat you. I didn't get involved there. It's like, who gives a fuck, man? You're a fucking agent at this point. Like it's not gnawing at me that you never, as a fan, that you never beat Christian. It has nothing to do with anything. You never beat him 10, 20, 12 years ago. Great. You're really like, they made it sound like Tommy's like every day. It's like, man, I can't believe can't believe that son of a bitch. I never beat him. Oh my God. Where's my chance?
Critical Sting thought it was a deep fake. They're just here to troll us all.
God. Dude,
and added to that, you got again a wrestler who is in a power of authority putting himself in high profile matches, like you've said, and it didn't come off like an authority figure here. He came off like a wrestler, sadly.
Right. Because he didn't make no reason. It didn't make any sense.
The only reason I could think of was they would put Tommy in the main event match for Christian to pin Tommy to prolong Ace to maybe Bound for Glory. But other than that, I couldn't see a positive.
Well, it puts over Ace.
Does it? Does getting a pin on Tommy Dreamer in 2021 do anything for anyone?
Because Tommy Dreamer's a legend.
So, does getting a pin on Tommy Dreamer in 2021, Jay, do anything?
No, I don't think it's a bad thing.
The other thing, though, is like I don't really know what connection. They
mentioned it on the show. It was from the bad ECW under WW.
Yeah.
F or E at the time, whatever. Bad. Awful. They had like a match, Christian and him.
One match.
And like this is
one match.
Like
he's like,
so
I
the
never
thread
got
is
my
so
revenge.
thin, Steve, it's invisible.
Yeah.
He's like, damn it, Christian, I never beat you in 2006. And it's bugged me ever since. I hate myself every day when I wake up. I look at myself in the mirror and think, I never beat Christian. This is my chance.
15 years ago, in a promotion that nobody watches, you didn't beat him, and now you got to come back. And you expect the audience to follow along. You expect this to track with anyone.
That was such a waste of a spot to me. I didn't need it.
But yeah, see, the payoff with this whole thing is, though, Tommy Dreamer's going to turn heel.
With Rachel Ellering.
And he's going to say, yeah, this has to make up for the Rachel Ellery thing. That's never going to happen. Never.
Don't say never.
So, because he's all. Tommy
If
Dreamer.
she turns in 10 years, he's going to take credit for it.
I knew it.
Of course.
I knew it.
I knew it all along. 10 years ago, I was the one guy that said, yeah, okay.
Bound for Glory.
2032.
Jordan's coach. You need a good feud, man. In the like a one-on-one feud in the knockouts. A real good one-on-one knockout feud. You need a good one like that.
You do, but then at the same time, they're doing really well in building knockout tag teams right now.
True.
And they have new gear, and that's expensive.
When I saw the new gear on Thursday, I go, fuck. I got 6 more months of this shit to deal with now.
And you know it's sticking around.
Now this kind of goes right into the next kind of thing Charles brings up, because we just talked about Tommy Dreamer, but there is a very good chance our world champion Christian Cage gets pinned clean tonight on AEW programming. And how does that come off with the crew here?
It further, to me, kills any credibility that they've built. you put Christian in a position where he's carrying the belt and he's liable to get pinned at this pay-per-view coming up, it just further kills credibility. This is why he should not have been champion. Going into this match, unless it's for the Impact title, it's completely pointless to me. Why?
Kenny's gonna there's gonna be some shenanigans because there's the whole elite schmaz, and there's gonna be DQ. So Christian's not even gonna get pinned.
You know,
Well, that's almost how it has to go, because if he does get pinned clean, I'm going to agree with Trent. That's bad.
looks real bad. It looks real bad. Because then what he comes to Impact is like, I'm still
That
the
Ace
closest
better
guy
win
around here.
clean as a freaking whistle at Victory Road.
And then he comes in down Thursday, like, I'm the fucking man around here still, aren't I? And like, you just got beat on paper by Kenny Omega. It's like, but wait a minute, I'm still Christian. Don't you guys still like me over here? It's like, fuck you, man. You know, whatever. Ace Austin for life. You know, I don't know, man. I think it kills. It's gonna really, really hurt if he gets pinned clean.
So I'm trying to think, like in Impact, I think the only time Kenny got pinned was, I think Eddie got a pin on him, and that was it, weren't it?
Did he actually do a job to
In that
anybody?
6-way.
Yeah, in a 6-way match.
I have to look back, because I
Did he
feel
take
we
the pin?
would have made such a big deal about it.
I
I'm
don't
just
think.
wondering.
Yeah,
it had to be Carl Anderson.
It was Carl. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
He didn't take.
I don't think he did. I don't think he took a pin in Impact Wrestling.
No.
Didn't he?
Maybe he took an almost pin that like didn't count or something, but
No.
I can't imagine he took a real pin, because
Because then that would have been a huge
Tony
deal. We
Khan.
would still be talking about
wow,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is, you've put yourself in two weird spots with this, man. This whole thing with Christian really was not the right move, in my opinion.
Oh, here's Roded with a good comparison.
And the other thing is, like, Christian is cheered by a lot of Impact fans.
Well, yeah, he
like-
has history. He has.
Oh yeah, but
He's,
the
he's,
trouble
he's
is,
a TNA legend.
if you're going to have an Impact wrestler take the title from Kenny, it's going to be like, oh, this is great because you've taken it from a heel, and it feels like you're bringing the title properly back. But if you're having an Impact fan take the title from Christian, who is loved, it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel.
Sure doesn't.
Like it feels like, well, are you bringing it home? Because you're bringing it back from someone that we all like. So it's.
I think
a weird
the
dilemma.
Con Man, which should be his just name, Con Man, is he sold Impact a bill of goods, and Kenny was going to drop the title at some point to somebody on the roster, but then he changed his mind. He's like, you know what? I don't like that idea anymore, and I'm Tony Khan, so I do what I like. So you're going to lose it to another AEW talent that I'm okay with losing.
Been my biggest problem. This is what killed it for me. Why I have such a problem putting up with the show right now. It's that hurt. I think that hurt. For anything, I tell you, it hurt Moose the most. To me,
Absolutely.
Moose.
Yeah, because it was Moose. It was Moose that was going to beat Kenny.
Moose
Omega.
is so in a corner right now. Like with now you have him with Morris. Like you are literally trying to just scramble to figure Moose out now because he's written into a corner because you got
To be
no
honest,
payoff.
I think Moose is gone. Like my time with.
I think. Like, how about personal interest? I love Moose.
Yeah.
But honestly, the hype I had for Moose like 3 months ago is like it's not as much. Like now, it's like if he gets the belt, I'm like, oh yeah, of course, sure, he got the belt. But
I like what Moose is doing now with Morrissey because it's away from the world title.
Sure,
Yeah.
But he should have gotten that. I mean, we invested so much into that Moose story that it's like no payoff.
Yeah.
None, or super delayed payoff. Like, what do we do here? You wrote him into a corner, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do for Bound for Glory. I really don't think Ace is going to beat him, Christian. I think Christian's still going to be champ at Bound for Glory. And I can't imagine that the pop that place is going to get when Christian drops it to whoever he drops it from to on the Impact roster. It's just not going to mean as much as if it were Kenny dropping it.
The only person they're building up is Josh. And to be honest, I don't even see him sort of doing it.
Not yet. I mean, there's so much with going with the X Division right now. Why would
and he's been so explicit. I'm focused on this. I'm making this the Impact belt.
Yeah.
Why would you do it? Why would you water? It's like, to me, you're watering Josh down then. If you go that route, yes, the world title's great, but like he's becoming such a flag bearer for the X Division belt that it's like we're gonna kill that story, just put you here. It's like no, let this finish, let this take some time. By the way, he had the belt on Thursday. It's such a pretty belt in person. It's a really nice title. People and the people love taking pictures with it.
Yeah.
The kids have college funds based on the amount of pictures taken with that title on Thursday.
Right.
But is it up there with the GCW spinner belt that Cardona made?
I heard about that. That show's going on right now, isn't it?
I believe it is. So he, we'll see if he leaves with the belt or not.
Well, who is he facing? Because I heard it was supposed to be a surprise.
Open challenge. I don't know. Could be anybody.
No idea.
Maybe it's that Brian Myers.
My buddy,
I was just gonna say Brian Myers.
My buddy Scott came to town today, and he's like, "Hey, I'm in town for GCW." I go, first off, I'm gonna dock you a few points for that. but second, he's like, "Hey, I want to go to the aquarium. Do you want to go with me?" I said, "Yeah, I'm in the aquarium in a while." So I went to the aquarium with him. This motherfucker comes in, MDK. I'm like, "There are kids here, and you're wearing this goddamn t-shirt." I'm like, "I am so embarrassed to be seen with you right now." I'm like, "I will give you a jacket to cover this nonsense up." Number one, bunch of kids here. You were MDK. I'm like fucking hardcore engaged here. You know, we're looking at goddamn dolphins, and you're like, murder, death, kill, murder, death, kill. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with this. I'm like, I live in this town. Okay, I got to be seen with this. This is embarrassing to me right now, Scott. I said, you could pull this shit in St. Louis. Don't bring that. Don't bring that.
Moxley, which makes sense because then it goes back to Moxley versus Gage. I knew Moxley was gonna he was showing back up because that was the filler because he decided to take time off with the baby.
Oh, he had a kid.
Yeah, Renee had a kid, so that was right in the middle of the him versus Gage feud. So then that's why Cardona replaced him pretty much.
Gotcha.
Isn't that terrifying? Moxley actually had a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Moxley, and kudos to another indie, Sammy's Revolver promotion. The Iowa show. It's like I think they still have some GA left, but it's like one of like the fastest selling indie shows kind of out there. Like in like 12 minutes, I think all their reserved seats were gone.
Yeah. They got the Wolves reunion on that one.
Well, Wolves versus Switchblade is
that's
the main
fucking
event.
nuts. I'll give it to him on that one. That one
that's a tough match to book.
A very tough one to pin down. I mean, Davey being back helps, but the fact that he was able to pin that down is impressive. Very impressive. I'll give him that one for sure. Because
Tony Khan's probably like, why didn't I get that match?
What I won't give him is because of that show. We don't have Ace Austin at AAW on the day of that.
You're doing an October 30th show too?
We got the 30th, and we don't have Ace Austin. We couldn't put him in the lineup tournament. We're like, we can't put you in the tournament now. And he's like, why not? And it's like, because you're booked for night 2. He's like, So yeah, no Ace Austin in the lineup tournament this year. But we had just announced Hammerstone, by the way.
I'm really excited about
Hammerstone,
who at the next MLW Philly will be getting a shot at the world title that he won at their battle riot.
It is finally aired. The battle, like I heard, none of their tapings have aired since that.
That's the only thing that aired. I don't know what any of these companies are doing because we know Impact would have got so much grief if they did like a show and then went back to no fans. Ring of Honor only does like a couple events with fans. They did their pay-per-view and like I guess a pay-per-view 2 nights fans. Everything else is fanless. MLW filmed months ago, but then like I don't think they're airing anything. I don't know. But Court Bauer's got big news. I'm sure, huge.
I will say it's about MLW. Total sidebar. Their belts are really nice. Like their belts are absolutely stunning to me.
No, they have big ideas like belts.
They do
things like that. It's just the execution of their normal product, and I'm a fan because I go to them obviously a lot, but it's I'm not sure what they're doing. It's heads and tails of what they're doing.
Court Bauer was, I have a huge announcement tonight. Huge announcement. It's like we got new ring ropes. It's like what the fuck? That's the big reveal. We just got new ring ropes.
Speaking of reveals, Len Asper put out there over a week ago now, something about distribution, and we still haven't heard anything. I was hoping Simply Steve, it may have been a UK deal of some kind or an international deal.
Steve is kayfabing us. Steve works for Anthem UK.
All we sort of thought it could have been was something in Europe, but beyond that, we haven't really sort of seen anything.
Well, Truck, you're you know the Asper family. Can you get on the horn and give them a call and see what the truth is?
Sure. Yeah. No
Yeah,
problem.
we'll get the full report from Truck maybe the next 24 hours or so once he sits down for tea with the Aspers tomorrow and gets the word on what exactly his distribution deal was for a tea and a poutine.
Yeah, just let them know.
Tea and a
You know,
poutine.
I was at the museum the other day. It's a real beautiful place. You put some nice work together here. You got a second to talk about pro wrestling?
Yeah.
Do you remember that you own this company?
I remember talking about this big distribution deal. What happened?
Could you write them a check, maybe? They could use some more staff, Len.
Yeah, that's for sure.
They could
I
use
like
some more
Charles
people.
with a
Either
very
way,
nice way of saying
more eyes.
Carney.
More eyes is going to bring more viewership, isn't it? It won't matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Or does it mean, or is it some weird deal where it's like Impact Wrestling brought to you by AEW.
Oh no! Don't even do it.
AEW Impact now airing on
Ugh.
TBS.
TBS.
Bill, I would just leave it all, man. Burn the bridge behind me, and I just walk. If that happens.
That's what I did with it when ECW went up north.
Yeah, that's it.
I always get asked, "What? You didn't go to the Hammerstein Ballroom for the one night stand with it?" No. Run by
Well,
WWE? Why would I ever go to that?
I
I'm a
always said I'd give
self-respecting
it a
fan.
year. I always said I'd give it a year to see how things go, and by a year we should know the direction.
What are we at now? What this thing started in what, January? No, not January. Was it January?
Well, December,
crossover?
December
December.
technically, but
January was the first show.
That's right.
yeah, but
Whatever it was
kind-
that Omega won the
kinda got
belt.
it kind of sort of got kicked off properly, I would say, in the spring.
But December was the first shot, right? When they did the first
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
shot was December. Yeah. So
When
we're
we were
we're
all,
getting
you know,
into
young
it
and
here.
excited. The world was
That is-
fresh and new.
But
Yeah.
obviously, Impact's done their tapings after, the next set of tapings after that, didn't they?
Yeah. Man. I love do me a favor, guys. Do me a favor. Go ahead and highlight I was gonna say highlight Courtney's comment that just says Truck William Steven J Bone. But I see the other one says Trent. I was about to say,
Yeah, you thought you got forgotten, but you were first there.
I was the forgotten door.
She
I
is
thought-
excited to see you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But where did Truck go?
Well, it's a cat. It's a rusty solo.
Truck went to go call Atlanta Asper. Go, hey, listen, what are you doing tomorrow? High noon.
Gotta get on the horn.
We gotta get on the horn and be like, what are you
There
doing
you
high
go.
noon tomorrow? Need some answers.
Wait, this is how I assume he dials phones up there. Hello, hello, Let Asper.
Oh, jeez.
Mr. Asper. Truck's here, sir. Truck. Yes. Tomorrow.
Oh, it's just Len.
Oh, sorry.
He's pretty informal.
First name basis.
Or just
Ooh,
Bud.
what do you call him? Big L. L Money, maybe.
L Money.
L Money.
Hey, L Money.
L Money is short for the money.
I don't even know what the guy looks like. He has no photo anywhere. I can't tell you what this
You know,
guy.
I
don't
probably
think I do
bumped
either.
into him at some point. And I was like, oh my goodness. I just brushed up with like $1 billion and I didn't even know it.
Smells like $1 billion in here. Ah, what are you doing?
Len, how's it going?
It's just a fake Twitter account.
It's so funny that all these billionaires are in professional wrestling. Like it's such a weird like that's like Tony Khan, like he literally was just a total Mark fanboy, right? He's like, I got $1 billion. I want to make a wrestling company.
Technically, his dad does.
Yeah. He's like, I want my allowance so I can make a wrestling company. Sure. Like Len Asper's like, I got some extra money laying around. Let's just buy that Impact Wrestling and put it on TV. All right. Like this is such a weird concept to me. He's like, that's what these guys are doing with their money. I mean, World Hunger still
It all
exists.
started with Vince.
Yeah. World Hunger still exists. But no, we got to put Tommy Dreamer in a main event. And have a show. See, the Truck with his vast palatial wealth, right? He wouldn't buy a wrestling company. He would go feed the homeless instead. He'd be like, you know what, guys, I could buy, what X wrestling something W wrestling company, and then make so and so a world champion. But you know what? I'd rather
Make myself world champion, Chad. If
exactly.
I'm buying the promotion, I'm putting myself over.
You would, but you could, but you would. You would rather say, you know what? There's people who need bread, and I'm gonna bake it for them and bring it over because I'm that kind of guy. I don't
Probably. Probably.
That might be the one thing I have to look because Kojima's back, right? He's back.
Bread.
Fighting Moxley, right?
The bread
Yeah.
guy.
Bread guy.
Oh,
The
hey,
bread
yeah,
guy
I just
back.
did some predictions over in that other little podcast about that. Yeah.
I guarantee you
Talk to
did not
Kojima right
predict
here.
Bread guy.
Hey, Kojima, how's it going? Nice to be back, huh, Kojima? Oh, yes, very nice to be back. Very, very. This is sourdough. It's Kojima's favorite.
Sourdough's a good bread.
This is
Oh,
It might be
love
the
me
best bread.
rustic sourdough, Bill. This is some good shit.
rustic.
This is some
Wait,
good
does
shit.
that mean it was made by Amish people, like on a farm or something?
I think so. It was made. Let's see. Oh my God! It's even. Look at this on the label. It says it's called the organic bread of heaven, and it says He filleth thee with the finest of wheat. Psalm 147:14. It's on my
Yeah.
bread. Where's
There
this
you-
from?
You're being indoctrinated by your bread there.
Holy
I don't know.
Gary, Indiana, the home of Michael Jackson.
That is the home of Gary, man. I hear it's not that nice of a place, and it's not too safe.
terrible. Gary, Indiana is terrible.
Well, I hear so that well, at least they got nice bread.
They have a prayer on my bread, Jim. There is a prayer written on my bread.
Oh, all right, everybody, bow your heads.
Is that is it a good thing? You know, the last thing you read on your bread before you eat it is a prayer.
Smells like God. Some good stuff on here.
Is that what they make the wafers out of?
Yeah, they must be. It must be the same
Smell-
place.
Smells like heaven.
That's what it's called. Taste of heaven bread.
So you like open up the
Sounds
bag
nice.
and then you hear the angels. Ah.
Yeah, pretty much. Or I hear Kojima.
Kojima.
Eddie Edwards, #1. Wow, what else? What are topics we got? I'm fired up today. I don't do this that often. I do Tuesdays only. You guys are here like lunatics every 2 days doing these broadcasts.
Let me see if we got any
Every
more
2
questions.
days.
Any last questions? Throw them in there now. I'm just going back through, see if I see any other ones.
Should we start asking questions of other people? Like, what you guys have for dinner tonight? Give me something interesting to talk about.
Bread.
I really wanted sushi. I really wanted to have some sushi tonight. And you know who ditched me was Basil. No callback. So
Oh,
call you when I'm like, "You want to get some sushi?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll call you when I get out of work." I waited. I watched the Bob Ross documentary on Netflix.
I'm hearing good things about that.
Oh,
Great.
how was that?
Heartbreaking, but really, like, makes you love Bob Ross even more.
Who doesn't love
okay.
Bob Ross?
Yeah.
I thought like maybe he was like we like secretly some kind of like like the biggest heroin dealer in the Midwest. Or
Whoa,
something.
whoa, J-Bo.
Not at all. What
No,
a great
okay.
guy.
I thought it'd be like the Mr. Rogers, where everyone thought he was a sniper in the army.
Yeah, no, he was a sweet guy. His business partners were snakes, but he was a nice guy. But yeah, I highly recommend watching the Bob Ross documentary. It's great. Great.
There you
How
go,
about-
critical stig.
There you
How
go.
long before Ziggy Dice? Oh, who you did?
Next.
Did you see it?
I
Ziggy
did
Dice
see it.
made his debut, spoiled by fake wrestling news. But he's now here. But does he go to Swingers Palace?
You have to.
It's got to.
The first time we had Ziggy at AAW on at February of 20, we went out to dinner afterwards with him, and I told Danny, I go, can you just book Swinger so we can do Swinger and Ziggy as a tag team in this place? I'm like that's a given here. So I imagine Ziggy's definitely in the Palace in under 2 weeks.
Well, he's
And
got to
as
do
they've
this
been
thing where
bringing
he
in-
impresses Myers first.
Oh,
Yeah, and as they've been bringing in a few like other like talents, they brought someone in a few weeks ago. Was it Cal Hero? He'd been perfect. He'd be perfect for Swinger as well.
yeah, he's a fanny pack kid and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Bring
Yeah,
it back. Bring it back.
got in there, got slapped around a little bit.
Milwaukee's finest.
J-Bone's godson, Cal Hero.
We do have another question about future programming here from Zach Bonifer.
Well, we know by his hair that he's not related to me.
That's
Oh, yeah, we know that. Since Halloween's on a Sunday, are we going to get a TNI Sunday family dinner with costumes? Are we even going to have a show on a Sunday? I don't know.
You get Bill in with a moose vest or a Saban jacket or Team Canada jersey every show. What the hell? What more costume do you need?
Well, Bill's not going to be there because he's going to be at a show, right? You going to Revolver?
I don't know that.
On Halloween? Who's running Halloween?
Last year, H2O ran on Halloween, but I have a feeling I might be around on Halloween this time. I'm not sure though. It's a good question.
I feel like a Halloween show would be a lot of fun. Halloween wrestling show?
Yeah, because it was like a death match Halloween show, so
It'd be kind of fun.
I do have a weird costume that I've not worn in a few years.
Oh boy!
Oh, what kind of?
Oh, wait a minute. This could be interesting. Should we? Let's wait till we get to October then.
Okay.
Spooky.
Well, but Steve has to come over here. He has to come on our show and wear it.
Yeah, Steve, you got to budget your.
Yeah, not UK.
Steve, it is 5:30 in the morning for you right now.
Technically over here it's 10 to 6.
10 to 6. My God. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
hell
wanted
is
this
going
extra
on?
couple minutes here. Give him credit for how late or early you would have called it.
Have you slept? Are you just staying up? What the hell have you done today?
Yeah, it's one of those like I late night and then early morning. So what's the point of sleeping?
There you go. What a trooper. Nice.
Aye.
What else we got? Anything else?
Let's see. Oh, okay. I think this was sort of answered, but we guys be reviewing the TNA pay-per-views 2005 to 16 after the throwback. Was that suggested as one of the options?
Well, that's what Brian Field told me we should do. However, this needs to be talked. We have to talk to the director of authority about this, and the board of directors have to discuss this. What this is going to
The booking committee.
Wait,
the
hold on.
championship
I'm hearing the booking authority. The authority figure is listening to us right now, and
Sadly, understood about half of that.
And now, listen, I wouldn't be opposed to the pay-per-views, like the monthly or whatever they were at that point. But I wonder how much, without the television context of it, how much we could contribute to that pay-per-view review, or if you just review them as a standalone pay-per-view. With the whatever.
Right, you don't know the context of what was going into, unless
they'll give you some on the show.
Yeah, they'll give you the little like the 1 minute what happened on TV this month.
Yeah, but to really do it right, you want to watch all the TV, and that's a lot of time to invest. So we'll see. We'll discuss
some of the earlier ones. You might be, they might have been better at explaining it, whereas some of the later ones may have been a bit sort of trickier. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see about
Depends.
those. We'll talk about them.
I'll start doing all the what was that FS? What channel was that on?
FS1.
I'll start out with the FS1 over on Smash This Podcast, and I'll start my own goddamn Patreon. No,
It was me.
That J-Bone, man.
J-Bone's got his own Discord now for Smash. Look at this, huh? You got your own Discord, Jay? Just snaking everybody.
Yeah, that goes right into there. Same thing.
It's
Everybody wants to know about throwback.
It's very quiet in the STP Discord.
What is? What you plan to review? We just answered this, didn't we?
Yeah. Everybody's asking. Everybody's wondering about because you're now considered the throwback guy, Trent.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Well, everybody's worried now. They're like, man, they're on 85 next week. Like, what do we do?
They're like Trent's dud.
There's only a few left. What do we do?
Trent leaves wrestling entirely, opens a flower shop.
It's happened to the best of us.
That's a sitcom premise, isn't it? Like you go from heavy metal to pro wrestling, and you open a flower shop, and all of your customers are people from your previous lives. That could be wacky. That could work.
Wait, is that what he? Wait, that new series?
Swinger working in there with him.
I love that idea. It's like, Did you get that new Slayer record? Like, no, but I got these chrysanthemums. If you really wanted something to brighten up that room.
Chrysanthemums.
Like, what happened to you, man? Remember that? And then everything's a flashback. Remember that time when we, and it's like a flashback to my former life. That's the episode. It's like always like a flashback to when I was cool.
That actually would be good, yeah. And it's just the opener and the closer that's you in the flower shop.
Yeah, that's it.
But like your hair is completely different and you're shaved.
Oh my god,
yeah.
Truck, we need to write this up, man.
Yeah,
this is phenomenal.
This could work.
This is phenomenal.
And then Sammy Callahan comes into your shop and goes, "Yeah, your band is really doing so much better without you now."
That would be good, yeah.
And that could be an episode too.
Oh, and I love the bouquet over here. And he just like grabs the flower and just starts eating it.
Live that rock star life.
Man.
Trent's flowery.
Too flowery. Yeah, real rock star. I'm at the aquarium today admiring the fish, playing, petting dolphins and shit. It was great. Real rock star life.
MBK all day. Actually, that guy's probably pretty upset right now.
Okay, here we got a Curtis here asking question for Trent and guys. Now Trent's like now the star of the show.
I love it. It's like I'm gone, but the one I come on, they're like, hey, Trent and sidekicks. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, we're now the Heartbreakers. You're Tom Petty. We're the Heartbreakers.
You guys will get your shine back on Thursdays.
Who's your favorite knockout of the modern day of TNA? No, that was so he's referring actually to current Impact.
Current Impact.
Current favorite knockout. Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna say it's a tough one.
It's not tough for me.
No, go ahead.
I gotta say Rosemary.
I was leaning on Rosemary.
Been there the whole time.
Yeah,
we got a connection. Me and Rosemary. We've seen each other many times over this. This.
I was really wondering where that sentence was gonna go.
Just like Moose has been around a long time, Eddie's been around a long time. It's tough not for them to be kind of the favorites just because they've been around so long.
Rosemary's she's such a star though, man. Funny enough, I wore Impact shirts. Like I wore one on Thursday and I wore one yesterday. I got recognized, like I got called out by fans in public for both. And I was at my eye doctor for the first one. I wore the Chicago one, Bill, the one you grabbed for me that one time. And the girl doing my test was like, "Oh, my Impact Wrestling." She's like, "I love that shirt." So we started talking, and she's like, "I haven't watched since they left, Spike and that whole thing." So I told her about. I'm like, she's like, "I love characters. I just love. I just nobody has characters anymore." I'm like, throw on Impact, watch Decay. I guarantee you'll fall in love with Rosemary immediately. That's like the go-to. Like, she's such a standard bearer for the company, man. Like she's true character all the time.
Yeah,
there's nothing about her breaks at all. Like you're almost convinced that that's it. That's who she is. I think she's phenomenal. So yeah, I'm gonna go Rosemary too.
It can be passed too.
Oh, pass? Well, listen, hang on a second now. We already know. We already know the answer for that.
We already know it's coming from the sky.
That's coming from the sky, my man. Tracy with an I Brooks is my number one.
Oh boy.
He needs to
anybody
take a
else
drink to calm himself
I'll
down.
just say any other guys with an opinion.
Yeah, Steve. Let's go to Steve here. Favorite knockout.
As you've been saying, character-wise, currently, it's got to be Rosemary. Although, who I've enjoyed in the ring over the last sort of few years, I'm going to go Tyra, I think.
Oh, Tyra.
I think when she came in to where she was when she left, of how much I enjoyed her, I think that, she kind of went from step to step to step, and I kind of
we'll fill that in for Mark. Mark will say ditto to that.
Oh, yeah. You mean Frankie Monet?
And yeah,
coming back any day now.
From the past, if we're going like someone
my past is way too
back in the day. I don't know how far back in the day you're going, but like maybe a decade here. But I'm gonna go Miss Tessmacher.
It's not a bad one either. I like Miss Tessmacher a lot.
I like her a lot too.
I got to go Gail.
Gail. The flag bearer, man. Cool. What about you, Truck?
Well, I can't look back because I only started watching in 2018. But for me, the one who grabbed my attention immediately was Sue Young.
Oh God!
And I love how her three different characters, when she switches hats, she switches everything. Like her body language, her mannerisms, her moveset, everything changes. It's not just a matter of is she wearing face paint or not. And I imagine that sort of care and attention takes a lot on the performer's part to, make sure that you're not slipping into the habits of, this other persona whenever you're in the ring. So I really appreciate that careful attention to detail. When I know it was, unexpected and not supposed to happen, but when Sue returned to challenge Diona for the title, when it was supposed to be Kylie, I jumped up off my couch. I popped so hard. Cool. Yeah, that was just.
I saw Rich on Thursday. He was a surprise, and we were talking at AAW, and I said, can you please just tell her to go into Hollywood after this is all over? Like this. I'm like, he's like, I keep telling her all the time. You know, Rich Song's like, I keep telling her. And I was like, yeah, dude, like she needs to get the fucking Hollywood. He's like, he said that she's finally like she's gonna put like a reel at some point because she's like other people have told her. He was saying people keep telling her like you could do great acting work. Like well, you don't need to. He's like, oh, she's taking bumps. She don't need to be taking bumps. You know, I'm like, fuck this. Yeah. Like he goes, go get the real money. And I was like, yeah, exactly. So
then her diversity, she can do any kind of role. She could just go out and play a normal acting role. She doesn't have to take a bump role, does she?
That's what I said yeah. Me and another friend of mine we were talking to Rich. We're like, man, she's so like there's no similarity between any of them. It's not like you would think it's three different people.
Yeah,
she's that good at this. So I hope
all three are on the roster, and you would think they were different people.
She's fantastic, man.
Yeah, the first time Susie came out, it didn't click with me what I was seeing.
No.
Yeah.
The debut was when she walked up on the Deaners, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was terrifying.
I have the runs.
So good. So good.
So J-Bone, I know everyone's they're waiting here. They're wondering J-Bone what he's going to say.
It's everything Truck said.
It's everything Truck said.
Yeah. I would have said Taya, but you know she.
I thought you were going to say Goldie. You know, she's stole your heart.
How dare you, J-Bone?
Yeah.
What about Goldie?
Well, Goldie's on a slightly different level for me.
She's on the Goldie team.
After what we saw on Throwback last week, Goldie she's in that crazy girlfriend mode on Throwback right now. Where like the phone calls she took from Eric Watts. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
She's my kind of crazy.
J-Bone likes some nuts.
I'd still sign up.
I was very tempted to say O'Neil just to upset Bison.
Oh, God.
I'll tell you though, O'Neil doesn't get I think people are giving her more credit now. But
yeah.
O'Neil's been very good. O'Neil's been very good.
This is
ever since she had that one-on-one with Deanna, I think she's improved.
I agree, and I kind of suspect that Deanna pulled that out of her. Like, we're not going to do this shtick that you've been doing for the last 6 months where you don't actually wrestle. We're having a match because I have matches.
Yeah.
But again, fans have come back too, so that could help her too.
Yeah.
Let me ask this to the chat. Does Deanna go down as this generation's Gail Kim for Impact? She's already on like such a path right now.
She has to stick around for a while.
Yeah.
Longevity.
Yeah.
She's on the way. Yeah, she's on the way.
Yeah, but it's time. It's a matter of putting in more.
Like right now, I was right on the Deanna bandwagon from Jump Street, but
21
let's be that's right, maybe even 22 Jump Street.
Hey,
but let's be we got to be fair here. She still has she's accomplished a lot, but she's not even Tessa yet.
No. She's done a lot. No, wait a minute, though, man. She's done a lot.
She has done a lot.
She's making a lot of rounds, though.
You know? But Tessa was doing a lot of rounds, too. And you would have said, oh, she's the heir apparent to Gail. She actually got the torch handed to her by Gail.
That's true.
And that blew up. So I will take no assumptions here. Right? Hey, J-Bone, I'm taking your gimmick right now.
No.
If we put her in that category right now, I think we're just getting too far ahead. And I think Deanna's fantastic.
No opinions, right, J-Bone?
Professional podcasting opinions.
He's got a PPO.
Yeah. For me, it's about not doing anything too quick, and it's about longevity.
That's the thing, yeah. And that's what Gail. Had Gail never left for like that half a year or a year where she went to WWE for like no reason at all, like she would have had an uninterrupted like 15-year run. But remember that, like, Bill? She left for like a year.
Yeah.
And then she was so miserable that she came right back. Like,
yeah. No. She's like, okay, was there, came to Impact, did fantastic. They're like, we gotta have you back. She fell for it's gonna be greener on the other side. But then she got there and quickly realized, oh man, this is awful.
Did she ever give a reason why? Was it financial?
Why she left the first time?
Yeah.
I don't know if she actually said it, but you could take that as like there's the idea, like, why do people go there? Why do people leave now? The idea of, you could call it financial, you could call it exposure, those type of things. I'm sure that and honestly, with how big the roster is, you do have the possibility to have all these great feuds and matches. But will any of this materialize? Probably not.
The people there, and this has been going on for decades. They reel you in, and they paint. Excuse me.
Oreo's like,
I thought somebody was tapping on their desk.
No, she's
Well,
like
technically Oreo is.
ripping my chair up. They paint such a great picture for you, and they suck you in, and they say all the right shit, and it's
sounds like my ex-wife. Hey,
Hey-o. He hasn't brought that one up in a while. Hey guys, did you know that Trent was married once? Don't worry, he'll tell you.
I barely bring it up. I think Zach Bonifer brings it up more than I do at this point.
You're right.
J-Bone, I'm going to pull a U right now and have a coffee at 11 or midnight, but it's a decaf. Pull a J-Bone here and have a slightly caffeinated coffee.
There you go.
What else? What else we got? Any other topics? Who's asking questions?
oh,
Clearly, we're all home on a Saturday doing this.
yes. Julia Bravo says the family dinner has become a bit farty.
Julian Bravo? Are you Johnny's long lost brother? Has become a bit farty?
I'm not sure if that was meant what he meant to say.
There's something there, Bravo. This is normally
It's not a party, it's a farty.
This is normally a paid show. This is now free. So if it's farty, you're getting it for free.
The only thing farting in this office is these cats.
Take it easy, man.
Fells boy,
Now-
Trent's appearance has lasted longer than his marriage. I like that.
Yes, that's there you go. Now we're back to that. There you go.
Hey,
There you go.
There we
bring
go.
those on. It's been a while. I haven't experienced the marriage jokes in a while. Tuesday throwback crowd's a lot more well behaved. They're out to talk about Scott Hudson, things like that. But on Thursday,
the major issues of the day, Scott.
We got a few different people in here too, because this one was this one was a freebie.
Yeah,
So-
and after the little marriage joke there, let's go to Bellboy's question here,
Oh boy.
because he goes question for Trent and the Heartbreakers.
hey,
Who you all think is of the top 5 Impact wrestlers of the Anthem era?
I like this question. Okay, top 5 of the Anthem era.
So that's the 17 on.
17 on. Okay, let me give my 5. Here we go. I'm going to say Eddie Edwards. Definitely Eddie Edwards. I'm gonna put Moose in there because he's a big staple of the company. I am going to say Rosemary, Knockouts wise. I'm going to go with let's see, Sammy Callahan, definitely.
Yeah, it's
Definitely Sammy. And I'd like to think of another. You know what? Because of how much she gave us, this might be a bit of a.
you have to put it in there. You got it.
Who are you thinking? I was gonna say Taya, but go ahead. Who are you thinking?
Oh, I think
Oh, who are you thinking?
Tessa.
No, Tessa. I don't know, man. For me, it feels short-lived now with the Tessa thing.
Well, now it does, but
Yeah.
she's still a big part of two.
As far
two
it's
plus.
it's the talent. It's kind of speaking of farts, it's like, yeah, when you mention her, it's kind of like, it's who farted in the room. But still, I mean, the talent, whether we like her now or not, and she still has fans, but whether we like her for what happened or not, the talent is still there. So
Where is she anyway? Like, whatever happened to her?
She does those Facebook signings once in a while, and she does commercials with her dad, and
Yeah, I wonder what the story is there. There has to be one. Because, like, in terms of her presence in pro wrestling, it's basically evaporated.
Well, like
I've heard that talks between her and NWA came this close, and then poof, evaporated.
I'm actually shocked she wasn't on that. Honestly, like, because you would, and like, if the con man hasn't signed her, because he signed my grandmother last week. If he hasn't signed her by now, like, where the hell would she go? You know, but anyway, let's give Steve. Give us.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. For me, Eddie's at the top. That his
you guys would Eddie at the top. Yeah.
Well, his character development as well.
Yeah.
You know, that is something. You know, that the change he's got put himself through and everything. You can't beat that. I don't think.
Yeah.
And like I say, everyone else is going to be like, I don't know any order really. I feel like I'm
Steve, go to sleep. Go to bed, Steve. Go to bed. He's losing. Just go to bed.
I'm debating on the North or just Josh Alexander.
Ooh.
Well, I'll tell you one thing while you chew that one over. I'm really glad that the one stayed and the one left, and it wasn't the other way around.
Yeah. Okay. You've swindled me there. I'll go for Josh then.
Yeah. Speaking of Josh, by the way, does anybody follow his wife, Jade Chung, online?
Yes.
Yeah.
What a
Respectfully, yes.
What an amazing mother she is, right? Like you guys just see like what an awesome wife and mom that lady is. Like she is super mom and super wife. She's such it's like enjoyable to watch her like do what she does for that family. Like what a cool, and she used to be in the Ring of Honor, like a wrestler and everything. She's cool as shit, man.
Yeah, and kudos. Kudos to Josh quitting the shoot job.
Yeah.
Full-time wrestler now.
We had her on for a quick interview, and she was fantastic to talk to. Really was.
If you guys missed the TNI UK, Steve, Bison, and Joe had Jade on their show.
They did.
That was awesome. Yeah, see,
and she's got her own podcast. It's really good.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I'll tell you, I think she got inspiration maybe from our show because she was it's called See You Next Tuesday, I believe.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Nice.
Yeah, she's a good one. I definitely want the TNI UK one to circulate for a bit, but I think that she's a good guest to get on for Thursday, man. You guys have a good talk with her. Wife of a wrestler, it'd be a fun talk. You know, catch her on a day when my old Josh is in the background having a protein shake and say, "Hey, what's he doing over there?" You know, why don't the two of you sit in on this?
Oh, Trent.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
No, she's great. Like she has a diverse career as it is. Like to talk to her is amazing enough. Plus, you know what? She'd be a great person to throw on Thursday because she has a lot of stuff she can put her podcast over and things like that. And perspective of a wife of a busy wrestler would be awesome. I think that'd be a really cool interview. Well, that's a good one here too. Look, Eddie, Sammy, Rosemary, Moose, and LAX. Steve, you only give us 2 names, by the way.
I know. I was sort of then speaking about Josh, and then we went into Jade. I think number 3, like you were saying, if we're putting Eddie in there, we've got to put Sammy in there.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to chuck the Good Brothers in there, just for the work they do for the company.
Controversial.
Outside.
I like it.
I was thinking about that.
So we got to go to Truck right after you, Steve, on this.
Yeah, so they do a lot of work for the company as well outside. So it's kind of like,
well, if we're putting production people in, let's put Johnny Bravo on the list then, because it's certainly not the in-ring stuff that puts Good Brothers on that list, Steve. Yeah.
But like I said, I do see them as big company guys too. And yeah, I think my final one, I've got to put Chris Sabin up there.
Oh my god! Well, but I consider Sabin more pre-anthem though to me.
Yeah, like this is during the pandemic era for sure.
But he kind of made like his return at Slam.
He returned,
Yeah, I guess this is another run. Yeah, you're right.
And recently we've seen him more in singles.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going
with Truck. What? Other than obviously the Good Brothers and Johnny Bravo.
Oh, number 1 on my list, absolutely. You know, Carl Anderson lost a tournament 10 years ago. He's a big fucking deal, guys.
Oh, here we go. Truck.
Oh, you're getting a salty Truck. You know.
No, I agree with a lot of the names that have been thrown out. The one that I want to bring up and ask, what do people think about this? Austin Aries, because he was around and doing a lot.
He was rattling in my head.
Yeah.
So Sorry, Bill. Salt.
He was rattling around. The head Austin Aries was that's under consideration.
I like.
If
I
I
had no
went
issue with
10,
him.
he'd probably be near the back end. He'd be like 8 through 10 area. But because of how he went out, if he does come back in this X Division storyline, he can go up.
Yeah.
The thing with Aries for me was he was right at the beginning of the Anthem era.
He was.
So that's why I sort of didn't consider it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember the first match of his that really stands up in my memory that I saw was him versus Moose. And you had this situation where you've got this gargantuan human being versus a much smaller dude. And it's the smaller dude who's doing the bullying. And it's believable because he's obviously the much more talented of the two. And I'd never seen that type of match worked before. So that really, obviously it stuck out in my mind. That's a few years ago now. And then just his character work.
And the feud with Johnny Impact, basically, he did that, didn't he?
Yeah. The Moose match at Slam, that one Slamversary, was it 18, right? Oh, Slam 18.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. I thought that was a good story leading up to the press conference and everything. That was cool as shit. And you're right, he was more believable as the bully.
Yeah,
it was weird, but he.
I don't know how you pulled that off, but he did.
Yeah,
but a lot of people don't like him, but he's great.
He looks very angry all the time. Cool. What else?
Who else would I put on that list?
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of the names that have already been put up. I think, Josh has become just such a dominant figure within the company, even though he's not in the main event scene. It's hard not to put him on that list, even recognizing that really he's only been in this role for a year. When did Ethan leave?
It was the beginning of the year, wasn't it?
Was it hard? Was it
Hard to Kill was his last match.
Was it hard?
Yeah. So, really we're talking about 7 months, 6 months, and he's just become this, linchpin of the company. I think that's pretty incredible that he stepped into that role so effortlessly, and so, you don't question it. Of course, this guy's in the role that he is. Yeah,
he's so good. Like he's so good. When you watch him, you're like, this guy just gets it, man.
Yeah. I mean, how many people do an Iron Man at all, let alone multiple Iron Man matches in 1 year?
I mean, he did it on an independent. Think about that. I mean, it's broadcast, but he did it on an independent against one of the best pure workers in the business today too.
That's super old school. That is super old school.
And it's like he's on TV, like he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to be doing any of that shit. Yeah.
I think it was great. Just an amazing, talent. He's so damn good.
Yeah,
been a good guy too.
A lot of names been mentioned. A lot of good names. I don't think you could disagree with a lot of them. Like it seems like it's so obvious. You got to say Sammy. You got to say Eddie. I think Rosemary's very close to it. Got to say. Then Moose. He's right in there. Then I got to put Rich Swann on there too.
Oh my God, yeah, it's another one.
Rich has to be on there, and I got to give a shout out just off of that list, but contention, Ace Austin. We forget how long Ace Austin's been here already.
He has been a while. I would give it to you know what? Give me another year of a solid Ace build, and then you got an absolute identifier of the Anthem era. It will be Ace, but you need a good one more year of like really pushing him, makes him like a key of Anthem era guy.
Yeah, because you look at all he's accomplished there, just in that, and it's been so young though. Like you feel like you're going to look back 5 years from now and go, that was the guy of the Anthem era, is Ace Austin.
Oh, definitely. If we're giving a shout out, for me, one is who returned was EY. Even though he's not even been in the ring, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, he was somebody that I was just thinking of now too while Bill was talking. He hasn't been in the ring for quite a while. It doesn't really seem to matter now.
I don't even feel it. I feel like he's still such a presence.
Yeah, I mean, he could be challenging for the world title tomorrow, and it would be completely believable.
Yeah.
Just based on his character work over the last however many months.
Right.
He's so good at what he does too, man. EY's a very underrated talent in that regard.
Yeah, it's criminal that the WWE could find nothing to do with him.
Well, like he said in the interview, he's like the fact you couldn't find something to do with an Eric Young.
Yeah.
that speaks volumes of your company.
I'll tell you, I do love. We got to get to J-Bone real quick on this, but I'm loving that everybody in the chat is now calling us Trent and the Heartbreakers with their questions.
Why?
Someone started the trend, and then it's now.
That's better than J-Bone and the home wreckers.
Now it's all just free falling. Go ahead, J-Bone.
Bill, you beat me to a couple of them, but that's okay. I gotta say Aries. Love him or hate him. Aries, okay. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say Ace Austin because I feel like he's like the complete package. Rich Swann, definitely. I mean, what a comeback. It's just been absolutely amazing. I'm going to throw in a tag team, but I'm going to count it as one. And I'm going to say Santana and Ortiz, LAX. And I'm going to say for a knockout, I'm going to say Su Yung.
There you go. Yeah, if LAX didn't leave, I think they would have been a no-doubter.
Yeah. How are they doing over there? What are they up to on?
I think that's hurt them in this ranking right now because they haven't done pretty much squat tile over there, right?
Wasn't there some kind of faction that
the Lucha Brothers are not doing much with?
Wasn't there a faction with Jericho?
There was a big war between MJF's Pinnacle and Jericho's Inner Circle, and they were a part of that. And that feud's gone. Like it's gone. It's had its ups and downs. The last big thing was FTR had a big thing with Santana and Ortiz. It might be FTR's last match together because the one guy got a really bad injury. I don't remember when that was, a couple months ago or whatever that was. And he might have permanent damage to his arm, unfortunately, just a freak accident. And so that kind of quieted the whole Santana and Ortiz thing recently. But I think something else is going to pop up for him soon. I don't know what, but it's...
Can I ask a question? What does FTR claim that the FTR stands for? Because it was like when Cody goes, fuck the revival. That was like FTR. But do they, now that they're in the company, do they say that, hey, FTR stands for fuck the revival? Like, what do they call? What do they say it stands for?
Oh, it was forever the revival was the thing for a while.
Oh, but they're just FTR, like on when they're named on the show. I heard they're good though.
Oh, they're very good.
That's the one. People are like, oh, if you like the Midnight Express, you'll like the revival. And I was like, I
guess. Well, they were constantly compared to guys like the Brain Busters when Tully and Arn were. They'll always be horsemen, but when they were together as a tag team, that's what they were constantly compared to.
Nice.
Not bad. Not a bad comparison.
Look, the revival. All right.
I do like because this is you don't get this that much, but do you think Scott D'Amore is the best GM of the modern era? And you think Scott? Well, this goes into more J territory. Being a head booker would help AEW. I think he's kind of saying maybe AEW doesn't have the best booking because the boys in the back booking that's never worked out well. But although I know our good friend Meltzer says he's the booker of the year, but do some more lines, Tony.
Putting together matches is one thing, but actually writing a concise story, because he's so against like having any sort of writer or even a script like formatter or somebody to just put things tighter for the sake of continuity and logic. He's so against doing that he's like, I'm just gonna book matches, but it's like you don't need 27 writers like the WWE has, on one show, but you do need someone who knows how to format a show and also look for continuity, look for gaps, make sense of the long-term stuff. someone like I heard that in the old like Impact and TNA days, you would have Mike Tenay sit in, and Mike would go like, "Wait a minute, if we do this now, what does that mean then?" Right? You need that guy, and you need someone to and then they also had like Russo at one point, and then who was the other guy who was the other writer they had for a long time? Bill, do you remember that kid's
Dusty
name?
Rhodes?
Gaborik?
No, he was
Earlier?
he used to work with Russo. He was like the intern and turned co-writer for a long time. Oh my god, I forgot his name. Very unsung hero of like really hot Impact Spike era. It'll come to me, but he was there. He was basically there second. I forgot his name right now, but he would put that together. Like that guy was the guy to be like, okay, here's a formatted show with continuity points.
Yeah, are you talking Ed? Hakeem saying
not Ed. There was another guy,
Matt Conway.
Matt Conway.
Oh yeah,
thank you.
Oh,
yes,
who was there even much later?
Yeah. Conway was there for a long
He was there
time.
during the Billy era too.
He left. Oh, yeah. He left because of Anthem. He did not want to work for Anthem. That was his thing. But Matt Conway, thank you guys. Yeah. But he, from what I hear, everything about him, he's such an unsung hero. But Russo recently was talking about him. He's like, that guy doesn't get enough credit for how he took everything and just put it together as like, including notes for continuity and, again, the if now, then what, right? Like you need that.
Like the voice of reason almost.
Yeah, exactly. I just think like Scott. Scott's a good GM. I mean, obviously he's great. He knows what he's doing. They have some decent, but this recent stuff has got me very much in wonderment because I think it's because he's not fully in control. Is my opinion.
That's the issue. That's why you haven't really seen this much happen
prior to this
wrestling history.
All this, think about how great like Impact was with continuity leading up until the Forbidden Door stuff. They were on a really good streak, man, in like 19, 20. Like these were some interesting. I mean, in early 20, but like 18 and 19, they were building some. 19 is actually a really good fucking year of Impact Wrestling. If you really watch 2019, that's a really good year, man, and that's all them. And then obviously 20 you got hit with some stuff, but they still made really good sense out of things in 2020. Yeah. Really good sense out of stories. Like it was great callbacks and tie-ins, properly done. Underlying stories like you had back callbacks to old things. It was so properly. The continuity was like at a peak, and then with this Forbidden Door stuff, like it started to gradually trickle to and now I'm at the point where I feel they're not fully in control of everything going on.
And I guess it's a bit harder as well because Impact feel like they're at the center of it.
Yeah.
So if you're at the edge, you're only dealing with a little bit here and there. But if Impact are at the center of it, they're dealing with the majority of it.
Right.
So I guess it is one of those things where you got too many cooks in the kitchen sometimes.
True.
Yeah, and Ring of Honor, they knew how tough it was when they had the New Japan relationship. Where okay, you have some great talent coming over, but it's not easy to book those shows. Like it's okay, like maybe you get some wins over their undercard guys, but everybody in their main event's taking out your main event. So that's like.
But it also seems like it depends how it's used because like everyone doesn't seem to like how Omega come in, won the title, and no one's it's 50-50 on Cage, but no one seemed to be that fussed with how Finjuice came in and won the tag titles and how they've stuck around and maybe seem to be going back after them a bit, and they're still your tag champ, tag titles. So
they made a good story with Finjuice though. Like it was like they underestimated them, the Good Brothers, so they got one over on them, but they haven't made them like unbeatable like Kenny Omega was. Yeah. Like there's no way they did these, as we like to talk about, these dusty finishes. Like Moose only lost because 5 people took him out.
That's what I mean.
So
it can
if he
be
did
done.
He probably would have won.
It can be done, right?
And plus, there's history with the Good Brothers and New Japan, so you got that backstory there too, and that can go umpteenth different directions. Which I'm a little surprised we haven't seen. What the hell are they called? God. God.
Well, they were in LA and they went after the Good Brothers in LA. So
Yeah,
that's
on
going to
the-
happen. We just don't know where. If it's going to happen at Impact, New Japan.
Speaking of New Japan, we had Juice Robinson on at AAW. I forgot for a second. Wait, fucking Juice Robinson was there.
Juice
Out of his mind. Also, out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, he got taken out on one of the shows, didn't he? And that's interesting because Iceman said that he, it wasn't. He didn't think it was Chris Bay, so that's something to watch out for.
Oh, yeah, he had a good match, by the way. Yeah,
He
definitely.
was AC Romero. That's why he's not around anymore.
Yeah,
He's in hiding.
he's back home in Chicago.
and Violet points this out. This is true. As soon as Vin Juice won the titles, they brought him to Japan.
Yeah.
And remember, Finley beat Jay White at that point in the tournament with the Impact title on him. So they made him look good. They went over there and they were.
There's something about New Japan when they do this. When they do a thing like this, like as opposed to how AEW's handling it, like New Japan almost celebrated the fact that the Impact tag team champions are on our show. Like these guys are champions in Impact, and they
put the belts over.
And it's like these guys are credible. They did it for us. I'll give it this for AAW. When ACH went over for the Super Junior tournament, they told him wear the title out, and they announced him as the AAW champion at New Japan.
That's nice.
It's credibility building. It's like this guy is a champion somewhere, and he's here now. Like they celebrate the fact that this guy is a big deal for his promotion at home, and he's coming here. Finn Juice is our guys. They went there, won titles, and they're wearing an Impact title here in Japan. That's a huge deal. They treat it like that. They made it seem important. I don't think AEW's done that.
They recognize the legacy of those tag titles.
Absolutely.
And that's great.
Take your vitamins. Take your vitamins, kids. I'm about to take mine.
That's a lot of vitamins.
Say your prayers too. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Hey,
brother.
You get that? You got your bread there. You can just read that as you're eating your vitamins.
So we did get Trent giving us prayers and vitamins tonight.
A lot of lessons.
You're not a little stinger anymore.
If I tell you to drink your milk, you're fucked. No, I'm not a little. I'm a little stinger. I can't wait to meet him someday and tell him that story now. I'm like, listen, man, you won't believe what I pulled in 2008.
You're gonna fuck it up in a new way. I guarantee it.
He's like, oh God, that was you. I've been telling people that story for years. You fucking mark. Oh, no.
Well, Darby Allin's going to be next and be like, oh, so this is the guy you've been telling me about.
Just to make it a little bit easier on yourself, so you can calm down a little bit. Be sure to call him Steve when you meet him.
Yeah, how you doing there, Steve? I had a friend who met Punk one time at some show. He kept calling him Phil, and like Cabana was there too, and he kept going, "Hey Phil, how you doing, Phil?" Cabana's like, "Oh my God, don't do this. Don't do this." And he's like, "Hey Phil, listen here, man. I think you should do this with your character."
Wasn't there an era where he didn't want to be called CM Punk and he wanted to be called Phil?
Well,
because he's who he is.
My buddy thought he would get in more by knowing the shoot name, and of course Punk treated him like ass because of it.
I doubt it would have been much different if he didn't.
Yeah. Anyway, I wouldn't be different. He called him Punk, but it was just I remember that they said, "Phil, listen here, Phil. Hey Phil, hey Phil, hey Phil. Let me tell you something." I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now?" He's like, "Dude, you'll know. I'll get in more than the other marks. I actually know his name." I'm like, what are you talking about?
All the marks knew his name. Come on.
Oh God.
Oh God. What else we got? Anything else? We've been out for 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm looking here to see if there's any more. Actually,
a question about faction.
I did. That was from Impact Wrestling Slam Zone.
Over 2 hours.
I'll give my answer to the faction question right now. Sports Entertainment Extreme, bro. That's
bro. So his are Aces and Eights 1, the Christian Coalition,
oof,
Triple X, BBD. Oh, BBD's a big BBD guy. 5 Paparazzi Productions. So, all right, we had Trent with Sports Entertainment Extreme,
bro. Yep.
So we'll go with your favorite, Simply Steve.
Ooh. Well, Decay has got to be at number 1.
They're a faction. They count.
They're a faction.
Yeah. For me, a faction.
Decay
for
2.0 or Decay 1.0?
Ooh.
Or just collectively?
Well, I don't think you can do that. That's not fair.
Yeah, they're very different things.
That's an out. That's a fence sitter right there, J-Bone.
It's only different by one. Well, okay, if you count Havoc, it's 2, but it's only different from one person.
That's true. That's right. So you go with the K. All right. What do you got, Truck?
In my personal opinion, it's 2.0 by far.
I thought the list had 4. We were going for 4, but okay.
We'll just go with the one.
We'll go with the
yeah,
top.
That's fine.
The top.
Yeah.
Top.
Yeah. Okay then.
Truck, and if you don't say it, your country will ostracize you.
Truck. You better
BBD.
say it, man.
Because
that was also on the
nationalism is not one of our characteristics. Sorry.
If you didn't say that, boy, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, BBD, definitely.
BBD. Led by with 3 Canadian. No, 2 Canadians.
It's practically Team Canada.
Yeah, I guess it pretty well is. Yeah.
Joe Doring has dual citizenship, from what I found out. I found out Joe Doring is a dual citizen of the U.S. and Canada.
Really?
He spent all that time in Japan. I'm surprised he's not a.
Well, that was going to be my guess. Yeah. Why does he have Canadian citizenship?
He's right across
his wife. What I understand. Mrs. Doring is Canadian.
Mrs. Doring. All right.
3 of them are Canadian, then, aren't they?
Yeah, 3 are Canadian. And Ryan
Canadian.
lives in Detroit, so you can see Canada from there. Go ahead, Bill. Oh, it's okay. Main Event Mafia is a damn good.
That's damn good. Main Event Mafia. You know I have affinity towards Team Canada, but Main Event Mafia, for some reason, it doesn't feel like looking back they get any respect. It's like a lot of people seem to like kind of crap on Main Event Mafia.
For a while, they were putting it out a lot for a bit, and now they kind of hide it. But they for a bit they were celebrating them a lot for years later. But not lately.
So like back to back with those two, with Sting and Gary, like I think those two are at the top for me. It's you could kind of flip a coin between Main Event Mafia and Team Canada for me.
I love the Main Event Mafia music.
It does. Their music's awesome.
The music great, but yeah.
All right, what do you got, Jay? Which one's Jay?
Oh, it's tough. Sex. That's so funny. Sex was fun, but
I love it. Sex was fun, J-Bone.
A lot of fun, J-Bone. A lot of fun.
It was, but you get older and your tastes change.
Yeah, it had a lot of ins and outs, you know. It had a lot of ins and outs, sex, and I mean, sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad.
Overbooked, really, needlessly complicated.
Overbooked.
I mean, sometimes they were on top, and sometimes they were underneath, on the card. But either way, sex was good,
You got hair on your booty cheeks.
oh.
They're always going round in circles.
Bells, boy.
Whoa, bells.
Yeah, I would never say Main Event Mafia. I'm a huge Kevin Nash mark too. But I would never say them.
10.
God. Okay, so Team Canada.
Truck, can you do the Canadian national anthem right now? I'll do it with you. Can we just sing it together?
No, absolutely not.
I'll do it on paper.
Get Petey on. He'll do it for us.
I know the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say,
in my opinion, it's an amazing national anthem. It's so wonderfully written.
The menagerie.
The menagerie.
Critical Sting, get out of here.
I think Alicia would probably say the menagerie if you asked her that question. I think we've been asked that before. I think Alicia's always said the menagerie.
I'll give the menagerie this. It brought us Crazy Steve.
Yeah, that as Roden asked, that was his first stable.
You got Crazy Steve out of it.
Yeah.
Menagerie.
I guess so. Gosh.
Come on, J-Bone.
It's hard to go back over like a almost 20 year history and look at it and go and pick them out. I'll say LAX. Just collectively, I mean
the bigger LAX with like Diamante and
no, I'm gonna say from like Hernandez till Hernandez. I mean, Hernandez is still there, So he's always going to rep that. But no, all the way up to Santana and Ortiz. You know, it's like it was. There was never
the Anarchia era, and was Chavo in there too?
Oh,
Weren't
Chavo.
And let's not forget. Remember, they had somebody else. Their valet at the time. That Shelly Martinez.
Yeah. Yeah, Shelly too. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
What was her name there? Oh my God, I forget her name.
Salinas.
I love Shelly Martinez. She conned me into paying for a photo with her one time though at an indie show. Well, she wasn't putting it out there that it was like charged. I was like, hey, let me take a picture of Shelly. She's like, all right, sure. I took the picture. She's like, oh, that'll be $10. I was like, wait a minute, you never said anything beforehand. Like, there was no sign. Just walking around. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
You always ask the price up front there.
Well, some people don't care. They're like, whatever, take a picture.
So what you're telling us is that you were expecting to get something from free from a performer.
I would, because get your name out there, kid. A pictures, no, an autograph. I mean, merchandise, yeah, but photo with. I mean, I don't know, 2011 was a little. I mean, now that everybody's charging, it seems like.
Yeah, that's become almost standard now. Like, it's what someone doesn't charge is kind of surprising. Like, I think when I was at the Wrestle Pro show last night, like Follow Ba, I don't think was charging for photographs.
Did you meet him? Did you get a picture?
Well, I rarely get a picture unless it's like a setup thing, but I talked to him for a minute or two.
Yeah, is he the nicest guy in the world?
Oh yeah.
He is.
He's so freaking. Goddamn, I wish
he's like, you drive to Nashville? I love you.
I wish we could have gotten him on. We kept getting like cock blocked on getting him on our show. I'll put that out there to everybody right now. We tried like hell to get Follow Ba, and he was like ready to do it anytime.
Yeah,
but Impact corporate cock blocked the $10. I don't know why.
And now today may have been a different story because a lot of that during that time he wasn't speaking; he was speaking Ba.
He was starting to speak at that time. He was going
on a little bit. Now he speaks often. Now he speaks fine.
Let's try it again. Maybe I'll make a triumphant return.
I mean, he's like Rosetta Stone compared to what he was back then.
I might have to have you reach out to corporate and see if they'll let us get Ba now. I'll make a return for Ba.
There you go.
Oh, we do have a music question here since Trent's here.
Yeah, I just skip the rest of the three for me. It's too hard for me.
All right, it's too hard. Well, you kind of went over all of them, J-Bud. LAX was your answer.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought we had to do like 5 of them or something.
Oh, no, we changed that to 1.
Okay.
Alex is asking, do you think Impact needs a music composer back like Dale Oliver and what AEW is doing now, or do they get music from license? So the music question.
I think
it's a money-making opportunity because, and you should have one. At least if you have an in-house, you can make money from it because they used to. They had the TNA, the music, they sell it. And by having your own proprietary music, you can license it, now it downloads, at least put it out there. People would pay for shit. People will pay for anything. They just use license-free stuff now, which is, it's just you buy a service, you get license-free, a bank to choose from. That's what they use.
Yeah.
The only issue was by the end of like the run, some of the stuff Dale Oliver was putting out was absolute horse crap.
Yeah, it was very watered down. That was very generic, and had very little uniqueness to it. I think if anything, today you're better off if you're not going to hire an in-house guy. You're better off at least working with independent bands. Yeah. And doing
some of the stuff they're putting out at the moment is fantastic.
Yeah, Eddie Edwards' stuff. A lot of it. Even Rich Swann's is very catchy. A lot of these guys have catchy songs too now.
Yeah, and that's that risk of like getting someone in and it being worse.
Yeah.
And like obviously the North instrumental that Josh uses now, very good.
I asked Josh about it, and he said because on the indies, him and Ethan used to come out to the Monster Mafias. Monster Mafia was their tag team. They used to come out to Kanye West's song "Monster," but the remix version, and that was it sounded so similar. Josh is like, when I got to Impact, they said, here's a bunch of stuff we picked out, and he said that one sounded so close to the Kanye song, which it does. It's the Monster Cretus remix, and if you listen to that song, it sounds very similar to the North or the Josh song now.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think work with some independent bands, like maybe do something where you can put out a compilation or at least plug them, have the lower third say who the band is or something where you can put things like that over.
Well, Downstate has been very busy. They just did Chelsea Green's Hot Mess.
I mean, they're working with that band then. Could be.
And Downstate just did someone who is going to debut sooner rather than later, from what I hear. Buddy Murphy, who is now Buddy Matthews. And that song just dropped. So that tells me that Buddy Matthews is going to debut very soon.
It's already a Josh Matthews. Why would you choose Buddy Matthews?
Well, that's probably his real name.
New tag team.
The Matthews is.
It could be like Dixie and EC3. It could be like Josh could be like, "Here,
Yes.
this is my my cousin, Buddy."
Oh, yeah. Cousin from Down Under.
God. If they do that.
What else? Thank you, Alex, for the question.
Yes. Let's see.
Hot tonight. Everybody's staying indoors today, huh? Look at this.
Buckshot Kid. TNA Impact Best Male-Female Couple. Now, do you mean as a like? Are we shooting on screen? What are we talking about here, Buckshot?
ODB and Eric Young.
There you go. It's not bad.
ODB and Cody Deaner was great too, though. By the way, I'll put that out there. ODB's dated half of VBD, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I said she should join them.
You should have joined. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Best couple?
Well, there you go. That's a good one there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yep.
Yeah, those two together.
Rado and LVN.
I mean, Fergie Monet. Who else we got?
Well, that's in real life. That's
real life.
More
Yeah, they're the best. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Rosemary and Brad. Everyone's just taking shots there.
Jeez, I didn't even know they dated.
Well, on screen they were
on screen.
Oh yeah, you don't even remember? That's like saying Rosemary and Johnny Bravo.
Rosemary and Johnny Bravo was a great.
Oh,
that was fantastic.
Oh, see, now that like really early Decay, I wasn't watching.
Orbs
I'll tell you, I was a fan of Mike and Maria.
Mike and Maria is a good one too. Yeah.
But their entrance music up north was better. I'm just saying.
Brooke and Robbie E. I'll never give an answer of anything with Robbie E in it.
Brooke and Robbie E. What is it? I heard that because they went on.
That was because they were on The Amazing Race, so they did a storyline with
up,
that.
like right before they went on the show.
Correct.
That was such a terrible. And they had to like do the show together.
Oh, jeez.
I'll tell you what. I'll put one out there. Bully Ray and Tessmacher.
Bully Ray, the real Brooke, the better Brooke.
Oh.
What about Brooke and Bully Ray?
The other Brooke.
Yeah.
Brooke Hogan
when he swerved everyone and said,
"Oh, that's
work with me."
What's going on between you and my daughter?
brother.
Awesome. Well, let me pose a question to the chat. What do you guys want to see for this next like few months of Impact, like going into BFG, and what's something you feel like needs to happen in order to keep your interest in the company right now? Like what absolutely needs to be done? Like that you're like, I need that payoff or I need this right now. Like just start putting comments of that and we can maybe start wrapping up. It's 2.5 hours. Goddamn. Fuck.
Yeah.
We outdid Impact programming this week.
I have to save some energy for All Out tomorrow.
What? There's a show
You
tomorrow.
have to be able to go all out.
Yes.
I will give my buddy Scott, Mr. MDK at the aquarium today. I'll give him this. I was like, did you drive in for the pay-per-view? He's like, what pay-per-view? I was like the AEW. He's like, no, I just came to see GCW. I'm like, and he's like, well, the aquarium.
I love that. I just came for GCW and not
actually, he said, he goes, actually, it's 70-30. I came for the aquarium, and it just worked out. And like GCW was, so I just made this my reason to come up. And we
You never know. AEW might be swimming with the fishes too.
Swimming with the fishes.
This fucking guy, MDK at the aquarium, looking at.
Well, he's wearing the shirt he's going to wear at the show, right?
Yeah,
So-
he went straight from the show. We did a bunch of. I took him around the whole city. We did all sorts of shit, but
And he was wearing that shirt everywhere.
everywhere. With
Did you get a deep dish pizza? And he's like, MDK!
Took him to his nice diner.
With a pizza cutter? Did he get a
Went to
pizza
couple
cutter?
record
Did he bring his
stores.
own?
He's waiting for somebody to ask.
That's hilarious.
So has anybody seen Eddie Kingston's new shirt?
No.
No.
No? Okay. I'm not going to spoil it. I think it might beat the AJ Styles Spooge one.
Get out of here.
I'm serious. It's terrible.
Are you serious? Well,
Yeah.
J-Bone, pull it up. The hell, you can't just hype that.
It's in the what? It's up now on the shop or what?
It was all over their
good-
Twitter. I don't know if it's on their shop.
Violet's had the best on-screen couple, by the way. Allie and Braxton. How do we forget
That's
that?
pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
That's a great one. So here's what people are saying of what they want to see. Wrestle House Season 2. Big names debut. Buddy Matthews, Titan. The Iconics. Larry D. Well, let's see. People want to see Killer Cross come back? Wow.
Killer Kelly,
Oh, Killer Kelly. I'm sorry, Killer Kelly.
Yeah.
who was just at one of the shows in Chicago.
Yeah, she just said she landed. I don't know what she was doing. Hype the crossover more. Improve the damn marketing and merch. Christian versus Eric Young at Bound for Glory, or Josh versus Christian. This is interesting. Yeah, I mean, they need it back on Impact Star. That's what I'm going to say.
So long as he's ready.
Yeah. Keep putting these opinions in, guys. I'm curious what you guys want to see. But go ahead. J-Bone, put that shirt up. Let's see what we're
I'm not seeing it.
Truck, what are we doing? You're getting our
Is
hopes.
it this?
You chat, I'll find it.
Is it on Pro Wrestling Tees? Because it's not.
I just saw it on Twitter. I think it might have been on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh.
So you're saying it rivals the AJ shirt, Truck?
I think it's about that bad. I cannot imagine anyone wearing this in public, even to a show.
Oh, so wait, is it? Wait, okay, hang on a second.
So you're saying that critical thing. The anticipation is building.
Yeah, I really want to see what this is.
There's talk about Len Asper's distribution deal. But once again, that there are no way that would be leading access TV. I don't know why everyone thinks that has something to do with leading access TV.
It's got to
No
be
way
an
is it
If I hear about Paramount Plus one more time, I think
Why
that's
would
like-
you? Yeah, why
head
would you
might
leave your
explode.
own network?
It doesn't make any sense. There's no
Why would
logic.
you
in
leave
any
your
of
own
this.
television station when you own it?
Yeah.
We got the shirt or what?
Yeah, send it.
Well,
to me.
there's the
got you,
Eddie.
John.
There's straight out of
There.
Boston shirt.
No, that's in the private
No,
chat.
Straight
Just
out of
sent it to me.
Boston.
Jay,
It's
he's
been out
talking
for
about
like a year.
Eddie Kingston. Is it Edward or Kingston? What are you talking about?
Kingston.
Kingston. Yeah.
Oh, Kingston. I thought
Poor Jay.
Which one's Jay?
I thought.
It's in the
So
private
we're talking
chat.
about Impact stuff. My head went to Eddie Edwards.
No, because you were talking about the MDK shirt, and I was thinking this is another example of a shirt that you should never wear in public, or should even exist. This design should not exist. Someone paid for this.
Oh,
Which one's Jay?
this is what he said. Okay, I got it.
Pay attention, J-Bone, or I'll cut you, man. I'll cut you deep, J-Bone. I'll cut you
Oh.
real deep, Bone. You
Oh,
gotta pay attention
damn.
there, man.
Why don't you just share some coffee with me instead?
I gotta do shows in the kitchen more often, where I have props.
Props. We're prop comics over here.
Stolen all your
Here you
stuff.
go.
Okay, so for those of you
All
who
the
don't,
AEW fans, man. Here we go. Here you go. Look at that AEW fans. Look at that. Hey.
for those of you who don't know, he said this last night on Rampage to the Redeemer, Miro.
Christ.
Redeem these nuts.
Give me a fucking break.
So he's knocking off Jeff Jarrett.
This went viral last night, from what I'm
For
hearing.
only an AEW crowd, I can imagine.
Can you imagine a bunch of just sweat hog AEW fans walking around with this, like at the aquarium, for
Oh
example,
my goodness.
and like
Yeah, it's a non-wearable T-shirt. I know they're
it's
inside
not
a wrestling show.
outside of a wrestling show. You can't wear this. That's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing to wear it to a show.
I would not wear it at a show.
You-
Although I did wear "I Just Banged Your Wife" shirt, so I can't speak too highly of myself.
But Bill, did you have the vest on? So
I did.
That's the difference.
The scumbag didn't.
Well, scumbag's a scumbag, but you had the vest on, so you couldn't see that part.
Correct. It was just the Austin 316.
Bill has respect. He knows that there. I might go into Walgreens. There might be a kid behind me in line.
Well, same thing. Like when I've worn at some deathmatch shows, the "fuck Cornette" shirt. Like I always have kind of like it's like a sweater or something like over there too. Then I'll like unzip it for like yeah, and then put it back.
Very nice. Anything else, guys, or should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up. I'm tired.
All right, J-Bone's time. King of
the Dusty Rhodes.
That is
These nuts.
The elder statesman needs a nap.
all right. Let's wrap it up. Go ahead. This is just your department, Jay. Wrap up.
You know how he wraps up the show?
How's he doing?
He just hits Ed.
I hate this drop in quality that has happened with like a show wrap. This is bullshit. Because this is how you wrap a show. Jay, I've been a while. Let me see if I.
I got one more left in him.
There we go. All right, first off, since this is a free show of what is normally on Patreon, we should have been plugging this throughout. But don't forget to subscribe to the TNI Patreon at patreon.com/WeTalkImpact. This is the Family Dinner Show is what you get every week as a Patreon bonus show. So you get this kind of talk, which can go hours at this point on Patreon. It's fun. A lot of other bonus stuff, tons of other bonus stuff. You get all the private chat on Discord, you name it. There's a ton of shit to look at. So look up patreon.com/WeTalkImpact, and you can join the Patreon. Big thanks to everyone who has joined the Patreon. We really appreciate that. It's a huge source of gratefulness from the whole crew at TNI. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Along with that, though, shows Tuesday nights is Throwback or Time Machine Tuesday, MWA TNA Throwbacks at the Asylum. Wednesday is TNI UK with Steve and his crew, Bison and Joe. They do a recap of all the news from the week prior of Impact, plus a preview of the coming week's Impact and everything else going on in wrestling or kind of related to Impact Wrestling. And then Thursday is the flagship reaction watch along to Impact and Access TV, and then the post-show review following Impact and Access. So it's on Twitch and YouTube, twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact, youtube.com/Total Nonstop Impact, prowrestlingtees.com/Total Nonstop Impact, and Spreadshirt. Just type in Total Nonstop Impact on there. You'll find it. What else? We miss anything else? Discord. Link is in the description below. Join probably the best fan community you can imagine for Impact Wrestling fans online. The Discord chat is open. It's ready to go. Jump in there, have some fun, make some new friends, and that's about it, right? Anything else? So yeah, check out Patreon, guys. There's some cool stuff on there. If you like,
I gotta plug the Labor Day sale over at PWTs.
Yes.
Use promo code Labor Day through noon, 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Yeah, Monday. So do that, guys. Get your shirts. 20% off, right, Jay?
Yes, 20% off. What else is here?
Yeah, I think it's 20% off for all T-shirts.
Oh, free USA shipping over on orders over $150.
So buy a lot of T-shirts.
If you spend $150 on our merch, God bless you.
Jay will hand deliver it.
Yes, he'll come over and give you a foot rub.
I don't know if you're going to want that, but he's going to come over and you're going to let it happen.
Or at least a shoulder rub.
Here's your T-shirts and here's your foot rub. Like, I don't want you to touch my feet, Jay Bone. Come on, take your damn foot rub. But guys,
sit down.
J Bone's got magic fingers. That's all I've.
Hey, Mrs. J Bone.
You got these hands.
We'll call Mrs. J Bone to confirm that. But anyway, listen, guys. Don't forget if you have Twitch. If you have Twitch, don't forget to hit the follow, subscribe button. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub every month for Twitch. It is also Subtember, so if you don't have Amazon Prime or whatever, you get 20% off all subs, which means it's only going to be about $4 to sub to our channel for the month. You get the emotes, and then YouTube's got the super sticker stuff going on and super fan deal going on, so go ahead and jump on that as well. We appreciate all the support. It's really awesome to see all the love from everybody doing this, so
please continue that. We thank you all, and hopefully you enjoyed this, and you'll consider joining Patreon for more stuff like this. So that's about it.
See, even Rocky wants you to sub. Say sub to the channel, or I'm gonna claw your face off.
Bill, play the outro. We're out of here. All right, guys. Everybody have a good rest of your weekend, because it's a long weekend. Enjoy Labor Day for us people in the U.S. here. Enjoy Labor Day. Sorry, Truck, you have to work on Monday.
It's a long weekend for us too.
Is it? You get Labor Day too?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. How about that? I didn't know Canada's Labor Day.
Official.
How about you, Steve? Do you have Labor Day?
Yeah.
No, not over here.
No, see, not over
Work
there.
on Monday. But check out Steve. Get your plug. Where do people? You have a lot of stuff going on with the Wrestle Buddy and all that. Can you just plug that real quick?
Yeah, just find us over at WrestleBuddy.com, where I post a new article every Thursday, Impact Wrestling related. And recently started doing the occasional interview. So yeah, keep a lookout on WrestleBuddy YouTube channel. Just type WrestleBuddy and it's the first one that will come up. So yeah, just those two links.
Steve, who was your co-host that day on WrestleBuddy the other day for the Rohit interview?
His Twitter handle is Jimmy Bebe.
Jimmy Bebe.
I believe I'll have a different two different co-hosts this time. Next time.
I want to tell Jimmy. He went right in. Rohit's there. Rohit's a pretty chill guy when he's not angry. He's willing to gotta go into an interview. Jimmy went right into that interview, man. It was like, "Hey guys, doing this WrestleBuddy? All right, who's your favorite wrestler, Rohit?" I was like, "Whoa, hey, wait a minute, pump the brake here, Jimmy."
I have to say, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, "Where's the intro?"
He was like, "We got Rohit Raj Jr., Impact Wrestling. Okay, so what made you get into wrestling?" I was like, "Well, let me massage me into who this guy is for a second." And Rohit loves to talk. You can get him to answer live. Just set him up, man.
I'd never noticed that he loves to talk before.
Funny concept, isn't it?
Such a wallflower.
Steve, where can they follow you on Twitter though for audio here?
You can find me over at Simply Steve 311, where you'll find everything Impact Wrestling related, and sometimes TNI.
Are you a 311 fan? I think I've asked you this. Is that why the 311?
No, you have asked me, and it is simply my birthday.
That's right.
That's how I can remember it.
311 got their name from Steve's birthday.
That's right.
They copied me.
Truck, since you look like you've just visually had it with this entire working
2 hours and 42 minutes, everybody.
Listen, man, what else were you doing tonight? I got stood up after my buddy went to the GCW show. I got stood up by Basil for dinner tonight. So I'm home watching Bob
Fire
Marley.
him. Fire him from your podcast. Fire him.
He didn't show up last week. Where can people follow you?
You can mostly find me on the Discord, and I hope that you will check that out. If you're not on Discord, that's perfectly fine. You can find me on Twitter at truck_rockpack.
Very nice. He's got rocks for pecs. That's why. Jacked. It's fucking jacked. What about you, Bill?
I'm on the Twitter at my name, William M. Gardner, GARDNER. Maybe the Instagram someday. Zach always likes to give me a hard time about the Instagram.
Get the hell out of here with this.
When Tony Khan,
I don't believe anything.
When Tony Khan buys Impact, Bill will finally dump all those photos.
Yeah, I'll be like, here it is. This is my swan song.
Yeah, and then we'll never see him again.
I'm going out on top.
Yeah.
Here, spend the next 5 years looking over these thousands of pictures. I'll see you later.
That's what the term "blaze of glory" really is going to be defined by that moment. Like, here's everything, and I shut the forbidden door on this.
Yeah, here's my forbidden door. See ya.
J-Bone?
It'd be like 6 hours of Bon Jovi's "Blaze of Glory" with a pictorial.
We're going to follow you, Jay.
You can find me over in that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast. You can find that on YouTube and Twitch and wherever you find your audio. It's on anchor.fm /Smash This Podcast, and that just puts it all over the place. Me personally, JBone5150 on the Twitter box.
The Instaneck and the whatever else.
And the whatever.
Well, that's STP. Yeah, I just kind of cut it off there.
Hey, listen. Also, everybody watching, why don't you all share your Twitter handles with each other in the chat and follow each other too? Maybe everybody become friends. And because you know why? Because like
Discord. Get in the Discord. Discord's where it's happening.
But I'll tell you why. Because Courtney and Violet actually met up in person and hung out as a TNI friendship was born. They hung out in person and they met for TNI.
Go get some pancakes.
Yeah, man. Go everybody
Get some all-day breakfast.
Yeah. Everybody become friends.
That was good. I know Gary's real good about that. I know he always does his group kind of follows and stuff on Twitter. Yeah. So definitely, definitely share each other there. Yes, there's Gary right there. Rules Impact.
Gary Rossetti, baby, with the Rules Impact. All right. Let's guys, somebody cue up that intro because I can't.
Yeah, now do you want to go back with our normal? Do you want to do the Patreon, or do you want to do fake wrestling news on the outro?
Oh man, fake wrestling news.
Do the full one though, the full version.
Oh, it's got to be the full one. That's the only one I acknowledge.
All right, we're getting out of here. Everybody, thank you again. Enjoy your day off. Except if our UK component here, he has to work on Monday. But everybody, enjoy your long weekend. Have a great time. Thank you for joining us. See you on Patreon. We Talk Impact on Patreon. See you, everybody.
Longing for that fake wrestling news. Don't believe anything that you read on the internet.